不可不有 And hello there. Oh, hang on a second, folks. I forgot. You guys haven't seen it yet. But let me allow myself to reintroduce myself. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my monastery. I hope some of you had a decent bit of travel here. I know it's cold as hell, but it's always cold. I see Kenergy in the chat. I see a Nephnor, and I see an Ethereal. So, some very familiar faces for this grand return of a sort. And for some of you will know me as Mildra. Some of you will know me as that one jackass who talks way too much about Tabletop. And some of you will not know me as well as others. So, first off, I do want to give my thanks to the folks who helped with this particular design. I hope you very much enjoy the look that we currently have here. This is definitely a lot closer to the original concept than my previous model. And because of the fact that I've been making some inroads lately, this is as good a time as any to reestablish what this place is all about. So with that in mind, I'm well aware that there's the right and wrong ways to do it, and nobody told me on that front. But also, thank you, Hami, for the follow. And drinking is about drinking. Yes, it can. Yes, it can be. It can be a lot. It can be about a lot of things. But let me showcase what we've got here. While some of you can just marvel at this lovely design that we have here. I had hoped to get one of the designers on the call later on for this, but I haven't been able to get in contact with them for a few days, so we will see. But with that in mind, let me open things up a little bit. So, as is mentioned in the title, this is a re-debut of sorts, mostly debuting the 2.0 version of Mildra the Monk, as you can see here. I do want to give thanks to the designers of this lovely little slideshow template that I found. I'm not using a slideshow like I did the last time, because that was a bit of a pain to set up when I had to do full monitor sharing. But, as mentioned, this is my re-debut. My name is Mildra. I am your one and only gaming monk. As far as who I am, as mentioned, Mildra. I style myself as a gaming monk for many different reasons. And it is as much a part of me and a part of my identity as it is just a title or a name. Being the monk is a state of mind. But as you can see here, my date of birth is August 12th. I am not putting in my age. My age is and always will be redacted. My blood type is O. For zodiac signs, I have both Leo and Rabbit. And thank you, Mizo. Thank you, Starlight, for the congrats. I don't have a whole lot of art that gets made, but just in case somebody starts making art, Monk Mandalas is my art tag, keeping everything on point, as you might guess. The Oshi mark that I have is prayer beads. I know I'm not the only one who uses prayer beads, but it's the most fitting. You'll always find me looking for something new to discover, and you'll always find me railing on folks who are less interested in discovery. And yes, there is a lot of ice when it comes to me, because I am as much of a winter monk as I am a monk. And thank you, Alpine, for the follow. Now, what you see in front of you is the redux of the original design by June Chris. June Chris also happens to be one of the lead artists that I have for the Final Fantasy Legend Edition project. I will get to that in a bit. The original design was by our good friend here in the show, Jeremy Jack, the lead creator of the Planetbound RPG that my good friend Xanatrix and I had done a extensive deep dive on the first book of. Now, the rigging was done by Azora. I'm pretty sure Azora will be putting this in their portfolio pretty soon. But I have submitted this design to certain tier maker and React streams over the last few months. A lot of people seem to get the idea that I'm some kind of avatar tuber, which is not intentional. Avatar was the furthest thing from my mind when this design came up. I'm hoping I can get Jeremy in to give a few words as to the design, but as I've hinted at many times in the past, I am on a crusade. And I have these two images here to kind of represent it. Being on a mission from God and seeing what's out there is the two parts of that crusade primarily. This is because I am hell-bent on showing that there is a whole lot more out there within the world of all forms of entertainment, whether it be anime and manga, whether it be video games, whether it be TV shows, whether it be film, whether it even be plays and musicals. I've done that before. And exploration and just seeing what's out there, seeing what people are making, what people are discovering, is something that's been at the core long before I was Mildra, even. And I know some people will say these kind of things for a gimmick. For me, it's not. I was that in my more acolyte era days. I was somebody who was going into libraries and bookstores at like 10 a.m. in the morning, and I wouldn't leave until closing time. But there are three things in particular that you're going to see when it comes to my crusade. Interviewing indie game creators and creators outside of that. Reviewing and showcasing indie games. These can be tabletop or video game. As well as reviews of works and actual plays through shows like The Cloister of the Dice. All of these are the initial steps, and I do plan on expanding those steps as we go forward. Right now it is a work in progress, much in the same way that I know some people, when they do debuts, they will have things like emotes, and like I am working on concepting emotes, but that is not going to happen for a while, because I need to have a right angle before I even do that. Now that said, what is the Monastery? Well, it is where we do all of the fun stuff. The monastery is a wonderful little place sectioned off in the mountains far far to the north. A place where a lot of the hubbub of most of the world just does not play a factor. It's a place where you have to have a very strong will to actually get there in order to enjoy what it's doing. It is a kind of sacred ground, a kind of holy ground, where all of the messes with the world outside of it are pushed off to the side, and the only thing that matters is the games. Some of the stuff you're going to see on the Monastery is things like Monastery Live, my interview series, which recently went past 1,000 episodes, the topic-based Geek Watch podcast, the actual plays The Cloister of the Dice, which I do on Saturdays, and the deep dive series The Valley of the Judged, which I do on Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays with The Mad Monarch, and Fridays with most recently Sigmund. Now then, let's talk about the acolytes. That'd be you guys. the joiners of my monastery. We have tea, we have drinks, but I always advise people, there is a certain stash in the back. Do not touch it. That stash is where angels fear to tread. And I know some might look at and go, wait, you're a monk. Monks are supposed to drink. You're conflating that with priests. Monks do drink. Some of them make their own brews. There's whole orders that do that, because, well, you got to take up some hobbies when you're up in the middle of nowhere. But I'd like to speak a bit on the goals of my crusade. One of the big ones is bridging the gap. Within the current climate that we're in, there's a lot of, for lack of a better term, segregation when it comes to different hobbies. This idea of, oh, if somebody does, say, horror, then that's the only thing that they should be doing as a creator. The kind of energy that I want to bring with this crusade is the kind of energy that I started out with when I started getting involved with content creation. Doing just anything and everything that we happen to enjoy at that moment. Which is why I style myself as a variety streamer and not a tabletop streamer. If I called myself a tabletop streamer or a tabletop VTuber, then that'd be the only thing I'd be able to do and nothing else, and that just doesn't sit with me. But moreover, I want to try and bring a lot of people in using the medium of tabletop, because it is a whole universe to explore, and there's something out there for just about everybody, for just about every fandom, fan base, and everything in between. Now, in that bridging the gap, a lot of it is just showcasing what's out there and showcasing things that you may not even known that you would become a fan of. Admittedly, I know some will have goals of like going to Offkai or going to TwitchCon or something like that. Those aren't goals for me. Hosting an actual play of a given TTRPG, even if it's just a one-shot with other VTubers and showing them that there's more than just 2 games out there, is one of my pie-in-the-sky goals and has been for years. And I do feel like in 2025 I'm a lot closer to reaching that goal than I was in years past. And I did mention this on Twitter, but if I do go forward with that goal, I will not be running D&D or Pathfinder. There's plenty of other people who are doing that. I do not feel the need to add to that pile. And the third thing is tabletop lore class. This is something I have been kicking around for a few years. Some of you may be familiar with the lore breakdowns done by folks like the Black Panther Legion or Arch on occasion, or Maxor. breaking down the lore of things like Warhammer or BattleTech. I would like to revisit that concept, but with games like Sword World or Legend of the Five Rings or Exalted, and bring as many people along for the ride as I can. Now, of course, when it comes to the content, there's plenty of places where you can find me, and I try my best to keep everything consistent. When the Geek Watch podcast is on, that's going to be on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central. In fact, all the times you're going to see are Central. I will note when it comes to Valley of the Judge, Zan was originally going to do that, but because of outside factors, Sig has stepped in his place. I just wasn't able to update the slide before then. At 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the Cloister of the Dice. That is the actual play that I do. We are currently doing Untold Destiny with our guest GM, Dean Hill Jowett. Later on this year, we're going to be doing Veil of the Eternal Night, and that one I will be GMing. And there's plenty of other games, but if you're thinking actual play and going, oh, you're going to be running D&D, no. I have made it very clear I will not do it, and several of the players in it would have my head if I did. But in addition to that, there will be additional streams, a lot of the video game streams, that'll be a kind of guerrilla setup. And it's not uncommon for me to do multiple streams a day. Sometimes due to the fact that my interviews only last for an hour, and in other cases, it's because I am trying in this year to make a more concerted effort to do more video game streams. And so far, it has been working out. And I think the advent of Steam Next Fest has forced me to go even further. But obviously, you're right here on Twitch and YouTube, so you know how to find me there. And I always try to include all of my relevant links in any of those places. But I am on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I know some might go, why did you set up a Blue Sky account? Well, to diversify, and since I know that other people who were potential candidates for interviews would be on Blue Sky, I'm gonna go where the story is. I'm obviously not going to interact with everything on either platform because I don't. Period. But it's important to have a diverse set of platforms, in my opinion. I mean, I could have added an Instagram, but I don't take a whole lot of photos, so that's not on the table. But that more or less covers things. And let me see in the chat here. So I see Neff saying, gentlemen, where? Yeah. Why not both? Thank you, Hami Himura, for the follow. Thank you for the congrats, Riona, as well as Mizo enjoying the design. I see Starlight, congrats on the 2.0, as well as Rosalind. Thank you very much, and Alpine, thank you for the follow, by the way. Many smashes chosen. Honestly, when it comes to me being put into the whole smash or pass thing, a lot of people were hesitant about whether or not they could even smash because they were thinking, wait, he's a monk, so is he even allowed to smash? And I'm like, I'm a monk, not a priest. But with that said, let me do a bit of a move and bring in a couple of my dear friends in the monastery. So give me one moment as I jump between voice calls. So hey there, John and Flutter.
Hello.
Hello. So, how are you? Are you enjoying the insanity so far?
It's just another day at the office around this place.
Yes, it is. But at the at the very least, I can say that despite some stumbling points, it is going very well. Uh, hang on a moment. I'm going to try and add your guys' reactives. I wish I had a more efficient way to add reactives beyond just doing it manually every time someone appears or disappears. So let me move that there. Unfortunately, it doesn't take too much, but it is something to deal with. Looks like Flutter is muted.
Probably got called away to do something or just distracted as always.
I keep telling people to stop releasing the butterflies. But for those of you unaware, because again, we do have a bunch of newcomers. This over here is good brother John. He is one part of the 3-part reason I even became a VTuber to begin with.
I will take the credit where it's deserved.
because well, I think I'm not going to say that you introduced me to the concept of VTubing, but you certainly helped move it along. And it was you, Zan, and Theo who kind of pitched the idea that I was already halfway to being a VTuber anyways. So because of that, moving into it was a natural thing. Now, because yeah, I think it was you, John, who had said that I was halfway to being a VTuber anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. I do recall we've had that discussion.
Do you remember what prompted that bit of thinking?
Yeah, God. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like you already had a character, you already had a persona per se, with you being a monk and everything like that, and you'd already created a lot of like different designs with, you know, all the character designs you had drawn up at the time, and I was like, God, all you need now is a model and you become a VTuber.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, when it at first I was kind of hesitant at it, because a lot of the things that I'd seen other VTubers doing was stuff that I didn't think I'd have where there would be a spot for me. Like, I wasn't seeing anybody doing tabletop, and then that's when Theo was like, well, that means there's an open opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think, John, both you and I have a bit of a background when it comes to radio. I know you've got a legit background with audio engineering, and I've spoken quite a bit about my love for some of the radio hosts that I grew up on. Also, I see Cheese in the YouTube part of the chat saying, "Nice drip, sir."
Hold on, I need to see your model. Oh, nice.
Yeah. As mentioned, this one's a bit closer to the original design.
Right.
Or rather, the reinterpretation of the design that was done by June. But something else. But as far as, if I'm being honest, when it came to, I know a lot of people will have certain supernatural or certain high concept ideas. If there's one thing I take away, is that I am in the last 6 months, I am shocked, I tell you, that nobody else has done Monk as their motif for being a VTuber.
I mean, I'm sure if you dug far enough into the independent space, I'm sure somebody's done something. It's just none of the bigger names have touched it. There isn't any well-known names who have hit that concept. But there's thousands upon thousands of independent English and Japanese VTubers out there. I'm sure somebody's done it.
Mm-hmm. But I do remember someone asking if I wasn't doing a Monk, would I do anything else? Would I have done anything else? And I'm like, it had to be Monk. There was no other possibility was even in consideration.
Because that's what you've turned. That's where your persona is per your online handle.
Yeah, you've created that character over years, over a couple of decades at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, unless you have a significant reason to change, you really don't feel the need to.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to create a new VTuber thing, I would probably make something new, because right now, my only VTuber form is me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any character to it.
Yeah.
Same for me.
And there's, as I kind of hinted at early on, I didn't choose the Monk thing on a whim. It's something that's been a part of me for a very long time. It is part of my identity. Certain parts of it obviously dialed up to 11, obviously, but a lot of the studious nature of a legit monk is not far removed from how I am normally. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
But, and as far as the one observation that I've noticed is a lot of people getting Avatar vibes from the design, which is always funny to me, because Avatar was the furthest thing from my mind when I gave the initial pitch to Jeremy. The initial pitch that I had was a monk that was a halfway point between a Zen Buddhist monk and a Gregorian monk. Essentially halfway between East and West.
I think where the Avatar comparisons come from, and I've talked to you about this behind the scenes, is that with the blue and white color scheme you've got going on, especially with the white hair and everything like that, and the overall look of your outfit, it does scream like you're the chief of a water tribe from Avatar.
Yeah, it does. I can see it.
Yeah, and there's a healthy amount of wuxia elements in my design because I do enjoy wuxia. I mean, hell, we did a whole campaign of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for a lot of people, their primary exposure to wuxia fiction, even if they don't know it by name, is through Avatar. Specifically through the OG series, not The Legend of Korra.
You've covered that. We've beaten that with a dead horse, like a dead horse already.
Yeah, and given the upcoming follow-up series, we're probably going to beat it with another dead horse.
It never ends.
Because the details on that series haven't been forthcoming, but there's the implication that Korra was indirectly responsible for some disaster. So, forgive me if I feel a bit validated. But with the I see but with that in mind.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And thank you, Sig, for the raid. I see that he was doing the master levels for Doom 2 as part of his going through all of Doom in preparation for the Dark Ages thing. So I should ask, was Romero being nice tonight? Probably not.
Romero being nice, the man who said he was gonna make us his bitch. Yeah, I'll buy that when I see it.
I'll cut Romero a bit of slack when it comes to that ad because it wasn't his idea. He got peer pressured into that.
Fair enough.
I see. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. And so Sig, what's next on your list? Because I know you're planning on going through just everything Doom until you. Oh, he's doing No Rest for the Living next. That's a fun one. No Rest for the Living was an additional expansion that was done for the Xbox 360 port of Doom 2.
I see.
Originally, it was only available on that, but people have taken the WAD out, and you can put it on any on any emulator you want these days. It was designed by Nerve Software, who some of the people who were at Nerve Software were previously involved with the original version of Prey. Oh, which is a complicated beast in and of itself. He says after No Rest for the Living, it's TNT, and oh god, TNT.
Oh yeah, the biggest point of contention in the fandom until 3 came out.
No, it's not a point of contention. TNT sucks.
Oh, it's just objectively bad. Never mind.
It's worse than bad. It's boring. TNT Evolution was one of the 2 episodes that were added to Final Doom. Yes, I know. But the other one was the Plutonia Experiment, which has a better track record, even if it's ridiculously hard by design, because the Casale brothers were exercising what I call evil game design. Which, for context, folks, there's a difference between bad game design and evil game design. Bad game design is the usual suspects. Evil game design is the designers being a dick, having the skill to pull it off, and saying, fuck you with love, the devs. You know, most of those infamously hard games we're all familiar with fall into that category. But TNT is not as well liked because the maps are just way too big for the kind of flow that Doom 2 has, and it's a case of bigger is not always better, especially when you have large swaths of just shotgunners, which you can easily take out. And even the maps that were done by the Casales aren't all that great, because again, the mindset was we need to make it bigger. See also why every Elder Scrolls map puts me to sleep. I know some are diehards for Elder Scrolls, but I'm like, nope, I am an equal opportunity offender.
Mm-hmm.
But putting that aside, I will admit that it took the right opportunity for me to make the jump, and as I mentioned back in August, I had been holding off on the first model that I had for months because I didn't want anyone to assume that I was eternally in pre-debut.
Right.
And when it came to actually doing it, the other thing that helped was just having an opportunity to overhaul the design especially with that set of backgrounds that Kay had generously lent me, which I still find it funny that said backgrounds are called Botanical Club in the official file. When you guys have seen what it looks like, it's a bar.
Yeah, that's a misnomer if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, a bar with a very natural aesthetic, with a lot of emphasis on cool colors. So it was such a perfect fit that I couldn't not use it. But I do realize that I will always be a different approach when it comes to the whole concept of VTubing, and I've decided to lean into that.
In this day and age, it's no longer about just being a VTuber and then following a certain prerequisite setup. Most VTubers are now doing their own thing. It's just you have a model and you do what you think is cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this a while back, is that there's a certain stage when it comes to any kind of new kind of content. You have the stage one was just, oh cool, a virtual avatar, let's go. That was like 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
2021 to 2022 stage 2 was more of the blow up, like everyone's now wants to do that kind of thing, but it's still kind of the same thing. What we're seeing in the last years is like basically stage 3. Okay, cool, the model thing was cool, now what can you do?
Yeah. And the answer to, if someone were to ask me that question, the answer I would come up with is I cover tabletop, and I cover it in a way that very few, if any, people are doing.
Yep.
And the ones that and there's a good amount of the people who are covering are mostly focused on the big two and very little else. Or the big one for me is I didn't want to fall into the trap of jumping on trends when it comes to covering games. For example, will I eventually do Monster Hunter Wilds? Probably, but it won't be for several weeks.
Since you're already playing an RPG at the moment.
Yeah. Of course, there's also the whole thing with Steam Next Fest, which is going to be wrapping up tomorrow, and the fact that everybody knows that Monster Hunter Wilds was going to be a quality experience, so I'm not really breaking new ground. Again, it goes back to that whole show what's out there part of things. That's not just a fancy tagline. That is a guiding foundation to the kind of content that I want to show on this channel. And if I'm just showing what everybody else knows, am I really doing that? I don't think so.
No. It's a case of when it comes to something like Monster Hunter Wilds, like, what are you going to add to the conversation that everybody else hasn't already said?
Yeah. Now, doing the Monster Hunter World board game, on the other hand, through like Tabletop Simulator, that is something you'd be more likely to see me do. And also, I see in the chat, Rig, congratulations on the re-debut. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone for the congratulations. I really do appreciate it. I'm not trying to be some clout goblin or something like that, but I appreciate that everyone's been supportive so far of this journey. Because Lord knows when I started this 10 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. And some of you may have seen that I did a little thread on Twitter that was kind of reflecting on how far things have come. And
yeah, I've read that. Yeah, I saw that.
I wasn't kidding when I said that the first video that I ever did was a review on Heroes Against Darkness. I will not be playing that video because the audio was shit and I had no idea what I was doing. And Zeke says pondered hopping on but didn't want to impose. There no imposition needed. If you want to hop on, hop on. As I to paraphrase something I used to say on a weekly basis, get your ass into here, Sig.
Yeah, come on in. More the merrier.
Mm-hmm. I always try to keep things open. And hello there, Sig. let me Let me make sure your avatar is up there. So give it a moment. But okay, let me adjust that so it's the appropriate size. Move that over there. But hello there, Sig. Are you muted or something? Because I'm not hearing you.
I wasn't speaking, but hey, what's
No
going on, y'all?
Oh, it's going good. This is a. It's been an interesting day doing this. I had a bit of a plan, and I'm adjusting that plan on the fly, as any plan worth having is a bit freeform like that. But one of the actually, since I'm let me move that off to the side so you guys can see more of the bar. I'll bring it back once we do once we need the screen. But one of the things that I've been trying to do since I did the interviews proper is just making my footprint in the internet space a little less segregated, I guess. That's always been the goal. That's why that's why you're not going to see me have going to TwitchCon or going to Offkai is one of my goals, because for one, a lot of the people who would be at those kind of conventions aren't people who I think I would get on with on the same level.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can find some people that would probably be in a similar mindset, but the odds are not exactly in your favor.
No, if I'm going to cons, I'm going to mid-range level anime cons, or going to MetroCon again.
Yeah. Since that's more your style.
More my style, and I go to those mid-level cons for the same reason I go to the Ren Fair every year. I can get away with more shit. Plus, I will note that I'm not going to go in dressed as my avatar, because I learned my lesson the last time I wore a full getup.
Oh goodness!
Yeah. To make
that's
got to
be a hell of a story.
Yeah, and this would be even worse.
Yeah.
I was wearing a full 3-piece suit in Florida weather.
Black suit, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be unpleasant.
It was. I was there.
Yeah.
I can attest to this. It was bad.
Which is why I give props to the one guy who was in a full Nolan versus Batman suit.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Florida cosplayers can get crazy sometimes. It's like, how the hell do you put up with that in Florida weather? Especially
Isn't that just the standard for Florida, though?
You're not wrong. As a Floridian myself, I can attest to this. But like, it's also Florida summer,
where that's as if you're walking through hell.
No, we saved that for Arizona.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But unlike Arizona, Arizona's a dry heat, whereas Florida is a humid heat.
Mm-hmm.
It makes whatever the temperature is, whether it be hot or cold, feel that much worse.
Yeah. So once you get close to the triple digits when it comes to heat, I don't think it matters as much whether it's a hot or dry heat.
No, you're not wrong. It's still hot as balls. It's just it feels worse in Florida because all that moisture just gets to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trust me, I have to deal with that in my area every summer.
Yeah.
As my wife lovingly put it, it's like a slimy sock that just doesn't get taken off.
Yeah. Yeah, that tracks.
That does.
But I will note that It's only been in the last month or so that I've actually felt like a VTuber proper. Some of that is due to the fact that I didn't change what kind of content I was doing when I did the reveal, and
Yeah.
because of that, I recently came across, and this was a bit of a nothing burger, the way some VTuber fans were really, really pissy at Ludwig's debut of his own model.
Oh, okay.
And-
This is news to me.
Yeah, a YouTuber named Ludwig decided to debut a.
Oh, I know who
a-
Ludwig is.
Yeah, his own model, and some people got in a tizzy about it. Armchair did a long post about the positives and negatives of this style of gatekeeping, which I do recommend people go back and look at, because, well, Armchair makes a lot of really good points, just in his content in general. He knows what the hell he's covering.
Right.
But
If I were to hazard a guess, I think a lot of people saw a guy like Ludwig doing this kind of thing, and visions of Pokemon came into their heads.
Oh yeah.
that is certainly a possibility, and you and I got some heat for when we briefly talked about it when I covered VTubing the first time on Geek Watch. But I can certainly see that. But something I've always cautioned whenever it comes to the gatekeeping debate is making sure that you're not burning down the forest to spite a few loggers, as the saying goes.
Yeah.
But for me, as somebody who started out as a regular content creator and then evolved into VTubing, that whole controversy hit weird for me. Because when I saw the reaction, I was like, in a different set of circumstances, that could have been me.
Yeah, no, I could see why you would think that. The thing, I think it comes back to what we said about the Pokemon scenario in our Geek Watch about VTubers. The big issue is authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Pokemon only did the VTuber thing for one stream just for the clout, at least that's how it felt, was the problem. Whereas I think I don't know what Ludwig's doing, but Ludwig, I think, has enough respect for the VTubing game, given the people he works with.
Especially since he's friends with someone like Mousy.
Yeah. He understands the game enough to play it respectfully, whereas Pokemon was just doing it for the clout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think for Ludwig it shouldn't have been a controversy. But again, people see popular streamer doing the VTuber thing. Oh no, it's another Pokemon scenario. It's a dumb feeling.
Yeah, and I know some people will use the analogy of once bitten, twice shy. But my response to that has always been, at what point does that become a crutch?
It's okay to be hesitant, but the way you should handle it is to judge based on their own merits. How are they treating the situation? How are they handling things?
Mm-hmm.
Are they what are their reasons for doing it?
Yeah,
Obviously be careful and don't be immediately quick to jump on board a bandwagon, but don't give the chance for a streamer or a content creator of any kind to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work out, they move on. If it does work out, well, they'll probably keep doing it.
There was a similar thing last year. Not last year. Earlier this year, it's in a bit of a continuum where a lot of people were getting on the fainting couch about Corey X Kenshin announcing he was making his own manga. And I think I talked with you about this a while back, John.
That's news to me.
Yeah, you did. I do recall this, and yeah.
Also, John, I've checked regarding Ludwig. Regarding Ludwig, he only used his model for the sake of making one video. After that video, he went back to his normal streaming routine of just using a face cam.
He was probably just testing things out. Knowing Ludwig, because I'm not a big fan of his, but I do know of his content. I know he works very closely with guys like CDog VA.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, he's probably pretty deep in the VTuber sphere and understands how it goes. He just wants to experience it himself, wants to see how it differs from what he does.
In
Which
fact,
I think
going
that's
off of the
some. I think that's something that should be encouraged. Trying new
agreed.
things.
Agreed. Step outside your comfort zone for once in a while.
I'm-
In fact, going off of the title of his video, he had this in the works for 3 years.
Which only further goes into that. But I will note when, and the reason I wanted to bring up the whole Corey X Kenshin thing is a lot of people were making the argument of you shouldn't be calling what you're working on a manga if you're not Japanese. Which
xenophobic bullshit.
I had said, okay, if that's how we're gonna play, let's play. Then anyone who's making a film noir piece should not call it that unless they're French.
Mm-hmm.
Not French Canadian, French.
Yeah.
Because that is where that particular film genre came from. It was somewhat of a response to the state of things post World War I.
Yeah.
In that same vein, guys like the RZA shouldn't be trying to make their own wuxia projects because they're not Chinese.
Yeah.
That is essentially the argument that's advanced when people go down that route.
Which that argument loses water on account of the fact that you're being a xenophobe and gatekeeping for the sake of being a xenophobe.
I can understand. On a certain point, I can understand because we have seen people jump onto certain trends, genres, or the like just for the clout, which is why when I did my original debut back in August, I specifically said I don't give a shit about clout. The only thing I care about when it comes to clout is just giving me more opportunities to show what's out there to more people. In other words, it's just a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I know for some people who are...
to be sure. It's a fine goal to be sure.
Yeah. Would I like to host a panel at a convention? Yeah. But I know that if I did, it'd be the shortest panel ever because I'd find some way to get myself kicked out.
Yeah.
Not
say something. You'd say or do something that'd be against the con's policies.
No, it wouldn't be against con policies. It would just get somebody on the fainting couch.
Yeah, that's more likely.
But I know for a lot of people, they'd be like, you're making content on the internet. Of course you care about clout. Not really. That kind of thinking only works if you have that level of brain rot.
Agreed. Not only that, that's a terrible way to look at things in general. That's black. I see you're swallowing the black pill that is cynicism.
Performative. I do intend on doing a musing on what is performative cynicism. That thing's currently being scripted.
Good to know.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out to those who are new. And of course you guys are already aware of it, but I am the lead developer of the Final Fantasy TTRPG Legend Edition, which we are getting very close to release. There is at least one other VTuber named Kashi who's been doing a actual play series of that game. In fact, I only found out about Kashi because when he announced that he was doing it, he tagged me on Blue Sky. Hold
on, I need to find this.
Yeah. And that does put me in an even rarer camp because when it comes to like VTubers or the like making content and making their own game, the only one I can think of is Leafit, who I have spoken with.
Oh, Leaflet.
Yeah. And I'm honestly surprised I was able to get a reaction, not a reaction, but get a response. Just because they have a much bigger footprint than me. But
Yeah.
as far, I will note that there is one other person I do have to give some credit to when it comes to this journey into becoming a VTuber, and that is the man known nowadays as Adventurer Alm, the worst punster I've ever met.
I've seen him around. He seems kind of funny.
Yeah. He also has a tendency to put his foot in his mouth whenever he's playing games.
Everybody does that.
You know, the whole oh, how bad could this be? Very bad, apparently.
I mean, you should have seen me playing master levels earlier. This doesn't seem so bad. I regret everything.
What, you turn the corner and then you thinking you're done, and then Archvile shows up?
Not just the Archvile. Actually, funny story about that. To get in the secret level for master levels, you have to Archvile jump.
Oh.
And that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, since usually when they show up, your brain is thinking panic.
My brain is thinking, nuke it fast.
Pretty much. But when it comes to that, I'm pretty sure you could have had a counter at the bottom just with the amount of times you probably said, Romero, that's not nice.
Oh, you have no goddamned idea. If I could have that sort of counter, I definitely would.
Oh. I know that Shiro, who's another good brother in this monastery, had a death counter when he was playing Elden Ring, and last I checked, it was past 300.
Ah!
Damn.
So he also had a punishment wheel for himself because it was part of his subathon event. So,
oh god, I dread the day when I finally decide to do Elden Ring, if I do, but I've got other games I want to get through first.
Yeah. Speaking of, it was recently brought to my attention that Steamforged Games is doing an Elden Ring board game. Ooh. And that ends up making me laugh because the last project they did was the Dark Souls TTRPG. This was the one that Zan and I railed on for being a masterclass and missing the point.
Yep.
Now, I've seen some say that you couldn't do Dark Souls in TTRPG form. I don't agree with that. I think you can. I think it's just a matter of how you do it. And using D&D 5th edition was a bad idea for one, but if I'm being honest, using any edition or any derivative of D&D wouldn't have been much better.
Yeah.
I remember somebody going, maybe they've had a better chance if they used like DCC or Shadowdark. I'm like, no, you'd have the same problem. Oh, just any sort of class-based game is going to be a bad fit for doing Souls-like. And there's, but apparently, and I ended up finding this out recently. That project got such backlash that the whole dev team for that Dark Souls 5e project got fired.
Damn.
Yeesh.
Which, a little excessive perhaps, but a bit understandable because that was meant to be their big flagship entry into developing their own books. Because up until that point, Steamforged Games had only done board games and like miniature add-ons for D&D. You know, things like Epic Encounters, which are one-off encounters. And that blew up in their face. I liken it to how Sega of Japan wanted the first Sonic movie to be their inroad to reintroducing Sonic into the zeitgeist.
Oh yeah, which that's worked amazingly, in all honesty.
Amazingly, because they dodged the biggest bullet.
Oh yeah, with Ugly Sonic?
Yeah. I've told that story.
Yeah, when you piss off Sega and your fan base, to the point that they bully you into redesigning the character to make him look more game accurate. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've mentioned this elsewhere, but I may as well revisit this. Because in one of the interviews I did in the past, I ended up learning that the design that we got when it came to Ugly Sonic, it could have been worse.
How worse?
Paramount, in their infinite wisdom, wanted to lean into horror.
Fuck no. No one wants Sonic.exe on the big screen. Thank you very fucking much. Seriously, that's what. Seriously, that's
No,
what.
no,
I'm
you're
gonna
not wrong.
complain about.
I'm not. I'm laughing out of sympathy, not mockery.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. But
You're not wrong.
the thing, but Sega of America wanted to lean closer to the source material because they understood the assignment, and the final design that we saw was an attempt at compromise.
Keyword being attempt.
Yeah.
And of course, when Sega of Japan saw the reaction, they wanted heads on pikes.
As they rightfully should. As they rightfully should have wanted.
It probably doesn't help that the last thing that they wanted was another internal conflict between two branches of the same company.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I know what you're referring to.
Mm-hmm. But getting that out of the way, a big reason why I try and do these these group calls for those new here is even with my position, I don't want to come off as if I'm this distant figure as a VTuber or as an entertainer. Because the Monastery is as much a kind of culture that I'm trying to build as much as it is my platform.
Right.
Like instead of trying to change the culture, I'm trying to create my own, and I have been for years.
Which is what you should strive to do as a content creator, and regardless.
Well, a lot of content creators want to just create their own bubble. I've talked with some other folk about how some they want to expand and make the whole content creation thing work, but they're not willing to reach out to people, which I find an inherent. I understand why, and some of the controversies that have happened certainly don't help matters. But like I said with the whole once bitten twice shy thing, at what point does that become an excuse? At what point does that become a crutch?
Yeah.
And and for me, building bridges has been something that I've had a long history with long before I did all this, and that's something I wanted to continue as I built this place, because I'm never going to be on the top level. I know that, but what I can do is do something that no one else is doing. I'm never going to headline a show, but I can at least bring the party.
Yep.
And besides, if you gave me the chance between going to a stadium show for a wrestling event or going to the 2300 arena, I'm choosing the latter every single time.
As am I.
And hell, one of the recurring wrestling events that I go to is First. Called that because it's held at First Avenue.
Ah.
Prince's Club.
Yep.
But obviously talking about this kind of thing, it wasn't the only thing I had planned for today. So let me bring the thing back here. I thought I had the transition animation set up, but I guess not. And step 2 is doing a bit of screen share for you guys.
All right.
Because one thing that I've wanted to do for a while but never had the chance is doing a meme review.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I jumped in at a really good time then.
You have.
So, let me open that up. So you guys should be able to see it. And let me also open it up for everyone else. And I'm gonna have to make some adjustments, because the only tricky part with the setup is sometimes the image size doesn't want to cooperate. So, and I did promise the line to you, John, when I initially pitched this months and months ago. So, say the line, John.
I don't have a button prep for this, but I think I know what you're going for. Are you gonna ask me what time it is?
No. I was gonna ask you to channel a certain former dragon.
Okay, now I'm completely lost.
A dragon that these days is a Yakuza fangirl.
And character.
We're going that route. Okay. Well, in that case, if you want me to say her old catchphrase, I think I can oblige. Good morning, motherfuckers.
I promised that I would let you get that in and consider this long-term booking.
He asked me to channel Coco.
But I see Mario in the chat saying, "Yeah, Monk neck is normal. Nice look, man." Yeah, with the old design, I had a long neck. I probably should have made a meme of me having the giraffe neck.
Oh God.
But so you guys can see the screen share.
I can,
Yep.
yes.
Good. So some of these are old memes. Some of these are from the old D&D Out of Context collection, including this one. Hey, can I get a vial of your blood? For my experiments, obviously.
All right. Unfortunately, I'll have to be right back. I gotta go take the lady to work.
All right, no worries. So we'll see you in a few.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if an NPC had asked about a vial of your blood, I'd have some very pointed questions.
Clearly a vampire. Clearly.
Yeah. Then again, what if they were a vampire? Would they stop at a vial?
No.
It really depends.
But and I do apologize for the way the image is going to be bouncing about. Nothing I can really do about that from this angle. But actually, maybe I can fix that. Yeah, I just need to full screen.
Split in half.
I just need to full screen it and mess around with the size. So sorry about the tech issue, folks. Let me just move that down here. And now it's cut in half. What the hell?
Oh,
Yeah, I was just saying, I was like, you split it in half. There we go.
I think it was role-playing. How people see it. How my mom sees it. How my neighbor sees it. how I see it.
I mean, accurate.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that we're past the satanic panic thing, but then again, I see people like that Matt Walsh idiot saying that anime is satanic.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah, nobody likes him.
That guy's a fucking clown.
He doesn't deserve an ounce of anyone's energy.
But I'm going to treat pulling a dying harpooned hobbit down a hallway as dragging a load at climb speed.
I mean, it works. The question is, who did the harpooning in that case?
Yeah.
I cast Cure Wounds on your pride.
Ain't no amount of cure wounds gonna fix my pride after today.
But seriously, what the fuck is with that face?
Right?
Sorry, this one's a little small. Congratulations, you're an uncle. An undead uncle. An undunkle, if you will.
Oh, Jesus.
So clearly someone in the family's a necromancer.
Yep.
Clearly.
So this is how it ends. Killed by a math problem.
Ah, so this is first-gen Pokemon.
No, there's not enough psychics here.
No. Also, I would make
Weren't there only maybe 4 psychics in the entire game? Only one of which was extremely OP.
In Gen
Yeah.
1? Give me a sec.
I think there were a few more than that, but I like giving Gen 1ers a whole lot of shit for their rose-tinted glasses about Gen 1.
Oh God, don't give me.
I've seen some say with their whole ass, that Gen 1 was perfectly balanced.
No,
Bullshit,
it fucking
guys.
wasn't.
Bullshit.
I was like, no, that is
Bullshit, it
wrong.
wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Let me try fit images to
okay.
window. There we go.
Give me a sec.
I could make a joke about Alucard though, because that was how he was reduced. He was reduced to a set of imaginary numbers,
He was.
but it was the 24-hour death. But
True.
you'll get it when you see it.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus. Also, Sig, to answer your question about that last meme regarding psychic types, there was 1, 2, 3,
This is why he's our living Wikipedia, my friends.
7, 8
Hey,
psychic
I'm all
types
for
in
that.
Gen 1.
8 psychics. Yeah, that
8.
feels about right. I know
Mhm.
there's Slowpoke, there's Drowsy Hypno, Slowbro, Abracadabra Alakazam,
Yeah,
Yeesh.
the one that caused
and Jinx. Can't forget Jinx.
Yeah, the one that caused
Jinx is Gen 2.
no.
Oh yeah, so 9. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
No, I knew I was miscounting.
And we have, how are you bracing yourself for the explosion? I close my eyes.
Ah, someone dropped a nuke.
I'm pretty sure in BattleTech they call that Tuesday. But I mean, are these bees sexually attracted to me?
The fuck?
That has been said in campaigns.
I see.
Well, it's not technically in hell, but it is hell adjacent. So
Oh,
Yeah, I
Jesus.
wouldn't. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, no.
Of course, if we're dealing with hell in various editions of D&D, I'd say, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Mm-hmm.
What ho, shrimpsman? We wish to purchase passage aboard your crustacean.
And someone's getting bashed in the head a bit, evidently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is she a female woman? Do you mean a human woman? No, my people have 3 genders. It's complicated.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
And now for something a bit more future. I shall play you the song of my people.
I don't know what that is, but that looks like it hurts.
That is a noise marine.
Yep.
So yes, it definitely hurts.
Now let me explain why fixed bayonets is the best option.
There's a reason that... Hold on. There's a reason that doing that,
Although I have to wonder, in this case, is this Imperial Guardsman Canadian? Because we know what happens when the Canadian Army hears fixed bayonets. We've all read a history book. We know what they got up to, and we know they got up to in World War I, and how.
There's a reason that the Geneva Convention. They're the reason that the Geneva Convention exists.
Mm-hmm. And how lucky are you? Me. Yeah, I think we've all had that case of, okay, there's a 1 in a million chance that this hits me, and then it does. Good shot, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's against the rules? Well, let's check the book. Everything I say is right. I remember getting this image sent to me, and I was like, did you have to call me out like that?
Oh, okay. I was like, what was that? I was like, oh, that's Sheriff Arturo from that one episode of Sliders.
I wish I had John for this one. What kind of RPGs do you usually play here? Oh, we got both kinds. We got D&D and Pathfinder. Story of my life.
And this was part of the reason I started my own journey, finding out what's out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to Friday.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, this tends to be how the fight starts. And I know some. If you'll permit me a moment to rant a bit, I know some people are like, "Oh, RPGs are more accepted these days, especially with all the actual plays going on." And I'm like, not really.
They are.
I submitted my design for one of those ranking streams, and I brought up that I cover tabletop, and they're like, "So you cover D&D?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And they're like, "Are you one of those weird Warhammer people?" And I'm like, okay, first off, that was random. Second off, no. There's still a significant contingent that looks at role-playing games as the place where angels fear to tread. Especially anything outside of the big two. And I have seen the color drain from people's eyes when I mention that I cover role-playing games, but I'm not covering D&D or Pathfinder.
Yeah, and your whole analogy of angels treading, that couldn't be any further from the truth.
Mm-mm. Yeah, but there is that perception.
Oh, there is. Mm-hmm. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah. Anyway. So you're saying your paladin keeps veering to the side of the road and attacking innocents? When's the last time you had the alignment checked?
Oh, now that's just on the nose.
I have to give props to whoever the guy is for going into an office setting in full plate.
Yeah, and this
He's
is why.
rocking that quaff.
This is why I'm glad that that nothing of the sort that's depicted in this meme has happened with the player that plays Paladin in the campaign that I'm in.
I kind of referenced this one a long time ago for Toku memes, but guys, I've got this one.
Yeah.
No, I've got this, Blondie. No, I've got this. No, I've got this. Oshman, I've got this. No, I've got this. You're all wrong. I've got this. Bitches, please. I've got this, that, and 4 other things.
Good old Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That might make for a nice movie night one of these days. I just need to figure out how I do it without getting us in trouble.
Would be pretty cool, actually.
Speaking of which, archery meets improvised weapon.
That person is not a gnome. This is not going to end well.
No shit.
With the right motivation, anything can be ammunition.
This is true.
And takes all the archery feats. Doesn't leave any enemies for the rest of the group.
Wow.
Just remember, folks, it's not kill stealing, it's kill confirming.
Yep. Double tap.
I'm an asshole. Not running for anything, I just wanted a sign.
You know, had I operated on my older persona, I would have gladly taken this sign.
I've told this story, but I've done worse things when it comes to lawn signs. I've mentioned the whole free t-shirts thing. There was also the time when Ron Paul was running for president, and I spray painted a bunch of them to say RuPaul.
Oh, good man.
I don't even watch Drag Race. I just wanted to fuck with people.
Well, no, I'm just saying that on account of the fact that Ron Paul's a fucking moron.
That, and I wanted to take the piss, but... And now one of the more important questions to ask. On a scale of 1 to invading Russia in the winter, how bad is your idea?
I would say going in on death against a Sicilian.
Well, we saw how that worked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of, there was a wholesome moment a few years ago where there was rumors going about attempting to do a remake of The Princess Bride that got bullied out of existence.
Oh yeah, that drove the internet into a storm of absolutely fucking not.
Pretty much. Even the actors.
Carrie Ellis.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. But Bard may not be able to kill the dragon, but with enough ranks and bluff, everyone will think he did.
He threw alcohol at the dragon.
Hey, it technically worked for Susanoo.
Wait, I'm talking about the wrong game. My apologies.
I'm only half joking. That's how Susanoo killed the Orochi. He got all the heads drunk.
Yeah, killed Yamata no Orochi. Yeah.
Think stepping on a Lego is bad? Try a D4.
Oh
Would not recommend.
Oh yeah, caltrops.
Mm-hmm. My old roommate knows all too well about that after he messed with my stuff.
Funnily enough, that is the only dice type in my dice tin that will not stay in the hole that it goes in.
I remember cleaning my office one time and getting one stuck in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told the story, but my roommate at the time had messed around with my stuff, and as revenge, I had rigged the entire kitchen floor with 4 pounds of white D4s.
Damn.
You really like screwing with people, huh?
Like he said earlier, he's an equal opportunity asshole.
Mm-hmm. And that it's not like
don't mess with the monk.
it's not like
No
I
shit.
did it. It's not like I went out of my way to do it. The only reason I did it was because I had set aside some stuff for my lunches, and I told him, "Do not touch this. If you touch this, there will be consequences."
Come to find out, you ate it.
Yeah.
Also, welcome back, John.
Mhm.
Yep.
Welcome back. There were a few good ones and a few weird ones. We are. You should be able to see the Caltrop one now.
Yes, the classic.
Hmm.
A second here.
Then, this is the local one. Those teenagers deserved it. Change our minds. This, without a doubt, unparalleled. This is the greatest Halloween decoration I will ever see.
Agreed.
And 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
No.
Because you've got the classics. You've got Freddy. You've got Jason. You've got Michael Myers, and Ghostface is there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't like the Scream movies.
Yeah, they're not the best, but they are still considered a classic at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Still, good meme. I
Yeah.
like it.
Good meme. Have some steak.
Pretty much.
And one does not simply spend a few minutes on character creation. Too real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in simple games, nobody spends just a few minutes.
No.
Not unless you're talking pre-gens, and even then.
Even then, people are arguing about who gets what pre-gen.
Exactly.
And you weren't here for it, but this is another one from D&D Out of Context. They say he who smelt it dealt it. So technically this burnt corpse is your fault, officer. I mean, it's not technically wrong. Oh. And now for Bad Pun Goblin. If you roll a 20 on intelligence check, is it called critical thinking?
I see what you did there.
So did I.
I mean, is he wrong?
No.
Yeah, there were a bunch of these bad pun goblins in the early days of Pathfinder. Oh.
Hmm.
Let's see. When you get caught looking up monster stats in the middle of a fight. Guilty.
I've done that before.
That has never happened to me at all, he said, having to have done that last week.
I was going to say.
Oh. How important is initiative?
Yes.
Thank you, Han.
Remember, he always shot first.
Also, speaking of, pray for Harrison. He's been diagnosed with shingles.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why do rogues prefer leather armor? Because it's made of hide.
Sneaky rogues.
All right, whoever made this needs to go to their room immediately.
Sadly, we will never be able to find out who.
Mhm.
Especially at this point, considering how old that meme is, or how long monks had it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I had to bring this one up. Necromancer.
Hold on, allow me if I may.
Go ahead.
Necromancer, if you want to, we could bring your friends alive. But your friends aren't dead, and if they're not dead, then they're no friends of mine.
I've seen this a lot on X.
Mhm.
It's a classic for a reason.
Yep.
It is. You're exactly.
And how I feel playing D&D 3.5. Hold on, that rule is in one of these books.
I
God,
think
I
you could
remember
speak-
seeing-
that's like the totality of TRPGs in general, not just D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing someone had an entire library of 3.5 books. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit, this is massive.
And as much as I could make the joke about 3.5, I will remind. I know some people will laugh in AD&D, and I'll remind them, you're not off the hook either.
Yeah.
No joke.
And those GURPS players in the back who are laughing, don't think I don't notice. You got no
Well, we
room
don't
to
see
talk.
you.
But I'll make a heal check later. Right now I'm vomiting spiders.
Oh, the fuck?
It's a druid, clearly.
Oh, yeah. I was like, huh?
The orcs are greased. Now let's get this party started. Let's see. I'll have to check if there's a way to auto fit, so I'm not having to do this every time. But this was an old one from early Tumblr. You know, back.
Oh,
when...
this is one's a classic.
D&D stats explained with tomatoes. Strength is being able to crush a tomato. Dexterity is being able to dodge a tomato. Constitution is being able to eat a bad tomato. Intelligence is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put a tomato in a fruit salad. Charisma is being able to sell a tomato-based fruit salad. A tomato-based fruit salad would simply be salsa. Guys, I found the bard.
I mean, a lucky rose isn't wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're out of line, but they're right.
Yeah. Also,
I see what
hello
you
there,
did.
hello there, Ibrahim. Good to see you're doing well. Thank you for.
Also, Flutter, I understood that reference.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you would.
Someone. Raising a family is hard. Necromancer. Not if they're buried close enough to each other. What? What?
What?
Yep, seen this one too.
It's like, you have my sword, and my bow, and my axe, and your brother. Wait, what?
I'm gonna laugh if that comes up later.
I'm not compensating for anything. I just really, really want to make sure I hit you.
Oh, this is my mech then.
God
The troll
damn!
button method.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy arms, nothing.
Yeah, I'd say this was pretty much me during the Mecha Break stream last week, especially with Stego and Tricera. Just
Oh
plop
god,
my ass
I
down
enjoyed the
and
hell out of that.
just plop my ass down and fire until things stop moving. A walk in the woods helps me relax and release tension. The fact that I am dragging a body should be entirely irrelevant.
Oh, so this is my night shift game.
Soon it will all be clean.
Oh, I know who this is. This is the gnome wizard from the last campaign I was in.
You were expecting Dio, but it was me, Dio.
Oh,
God
come
damn it.
on, That feels too easy.
Yeah, that's too on the goddamn nose.
On one hand, yes, but on the other hand, it is Dio.
Exactly. God rest his legendary soul.
Oh,
Oh,
how good's
may I take this one?
Go ahead.
As the creator of this group, you will assume the role of DM, teller of stories. There are no days off, no one is grateful, and no one ever shows up on time.
Sounds like being a parent.
I love it, but also too real.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
I can imagine.
And then, by the way, if any of you do this, you are dead men. Just putting that out there. An archer named Bard, a spy named Archer, an investigator named Monk, a merc named Paladin, a fighter named Rogue, a monk who is a ranger. How to make your DM pull their hair out.
Okay, I know, like, 4 of these. Who are the other 2?
So, let me see. I think
Yeah,
the
I think top left
one
and middle
is-
right are the only two I don't recognize.
Same here.
Bard is from The Hobbit.
Oh, right.
Right, yeah.
Paladin, I feel like I should know who that is, but it's not coming to me at the moment.
Hold on.
And the other ones, well, everybody knows.
Well, yeah, those are the only 2 that, Oh! Hold on.
Although just naming your character the name of a class is already pushing your luck.
Yeah. Oh, that's Paladin from Have Gun Will Travel.
Yeah, I figured. I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't want to show my ass, essentially.
Yeah.
But you know, the spy named Archer thing, you can get away with that because Archer is kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Then again,
He's
it's a miracle that ISIS lasted as long as it did.
No.
Hello there, Jack Jinseki. Glad to see you made it for the show. And for those of you who don't know, he's somebody who does a lot of interviews with VTubers. He interviewed me recently. The alternate title for that interview is "Which Way to the Local Oktoberfest."
Nah.
Absolutely no alcohol beyond this point, so start chugging.
Can't
That
do it.
screams you,
Nope.
Monk.
Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna head out just
Alright.
to catch up on some things.
All right,
Pleasure as always.
thank you for stopping in, and stay frosty, Flutter.
Oh, no problem. And congrats on the re-debut and the milestone.
Mm-hmm. We joke, but Flutter is always a good guy.
He seems nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this some of you will get the reference. Dungeon crawl kick-assix. If you don't survive this funnel, we'll kill this displacer kitten.
Oh, kill the displacer kitten.
Okay, show of hands. Who gets the joke?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm out.
This is a nod to a very infamous National Lampoon cover.
Okay, that I got.
Let me see if I can
Okay,
get
I'm
the
gonna look this up.
this was the infamous cheese face cover from an old issue of National Lampoon. I know a lot of people know National Lampoon through the movies, but it was a
Oh no, that's just wrong.
yeah, it was
I
part of
see
the
it.
magazine back in the early 70s with the text, "If you don't buy this magazine, we'll kill this dog."
Oh, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then they followed it up by making a joke that a assailant had tracked down Cheeseface and killed it 3 years later. And hey there, hello there, Aods. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy the madness that happens around here, because there's always something going down. But I love some of the little details with the cover here. You know, recursive time loops, TPK them again and again. Affable PCs, player murder bait. Calling Dungeon Crawl Kick-Assix the Murder Hobo magazine that costs 25 GP. Which, that 25 GP for a magazine, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I came across this one from a Shadowrun group I was in. Do elves creep you out? We have the solution.
Alrighty then.
Depends on the elf.
Yep. And this is how workplace violence starts. It's an old classic.
Yep.
When I first saw this,
I see you doing this, Monk.
well, here's the funny thing. The one time somebody brought in donuts at one of my old jobs, everybody thought I did it.
Well, trust me, you've shared that story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best part. Everybody thought I did, and it was just some regular donuts. There was no rib. I didn't even know the donuts were gonna be there until I got in. but everyone was so.
That's just the impression you've left on people.
Yeah, I was able to inflict generational trauma.
Oh no.
So apparently at some police station up in Canada there was a box of Tim Hortons, but if you open the thing up, it's just a big ass salad.
Oh, that's just mean.
Yep. But speaking of mean, long live the king.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And it looks like my model can't handle me leaning towards the mic, but I swear to God I didn't do this, but I could see people believing I did.
I'm not saying that I might have done this when the Disney store was open, but I might have done this at one point.
We are invoking our Fifth Amendment rights. But speaking of evil,
I wouldn't call this outright evil, but I would definitely call it mean.
I'm surprised that the Pepsi can does not spontaneously combust at this blasphemy.
I've done this, but it wasn't with Coke. It was with Diet Pepsi.
Oh, that's even more fucked.
Then I did it again when those cinnamon Pepsis were a thing.
Oh god, those were disgusting.
Yep. I remember describing it to you, John, and you described it as a non-alcoholic fireball.
Yeah.
Which I don't like fireballs at the best of times. I know some people will swear by them, and they're fine when they're mixed with something else, but a fireball straight, no thank you. I would sooner have the apple pie again. You know which one.
Were it that I drank, I'd probably know what you're talking about, but I really don't do much drinking these days.
No, it was with a mutual friend of ours who occasionally makes experimental drinks, and this one had way too much cinnamon.
Oof.
Yeah,
oh, that's gonna
even
burn.
Even by your own admission, it was too much.
Because I remember getting a glass and I couldn't finish it because it was like doing the cinnamon challenge.
Oh.
For legal purposes, I do not endorse anyone doing the cinnamon challenges. You can get hurt doing that. You can also end up choking because the thing about cinnamon is that it is a moisture vacuum. So taking it straight can just screw up the moisture in your throat. So like I said, don't fucking do it. But then we have probably the greatest facepalm, or in this case face wall.
Greatest headbutt. Is what we got.
I call this wife material.
I mean, we've seen this gag in so many different anime of girls with ridiculously hard heads. But you know, sometimes you see something dumb enough that you have to face wall. I feel like this could have been me during some of those Mike Shell moments from years ago.
Yeah.
I hate to keep picking on the guy, but he makes it so easy. But the ashes of difficult customers.
Oh, if only I had this at my old jobs. So many times.
I'm pretty sure one of my coworkers has this at his desk. Since he's at the call center and I'm not. But here's a bit of a they live one. It's what my character would do. I really want to act rude without consequences. This is everybody I've ever known who's tried to pull I'm chaotic neutral.
Mm-hmm.
You're not chaotic neutral, you're just a dickhead. But An arrow may have your name on it, but a fireball is addressed to whom it may concern.
Where's the lie?
Unfortunately, friendly fire is a thing.
Wait, literally in this case.
And now for one of the greatest misprints I've ever seen.
As someone who's enjoyed their share of pure leaf tea, oh good god.
I'm not sure what that was supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to be grenade flavored tea.
I would assume, like, no? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this was one of those 1 in a million misprints if this wasn't shopped, but I have a hard time believing this was shopped. You know, especially because of the reflection off the cell phone reflection there.
Mm.
And now for a short gun story. A guy walked into a crowded bar, waving his unholstered pistol, and yelled, "I have a .45 caliber Colt 1911 with a 7-round magazine plus 1 in the chamber, and I want to know who's been sleeping with my wife." A voice from the back of the room called out, "You need more ammo!" And a simple one here, I find this humorous.
Go to your room.
hold on. I need to hit the right button for this one. I've got a button for this. Let me make sure my button is prepped for this, because, oh, good God. There's only one button to press, and that would be this one.
Yeah. Fearless, because sometimes you have to remind the DM that you ain't afraid of nothing. Once again, I'm reminded of Mike Shell, who, except he wasn't fearless, he was just questionable.
Yeah, questionable, aka an idiot.
Yeah. Love you, Mike,
Call it
but...
what it is, Monk.
Yeah, love you, Mike, but... Yeah. Again, I don't pick on players for dumb decisions, but if you don't want me to pick on you, don't feed. But on the road to success, there are no shortcuts.
You told me this was a can opener, I might have bought it.
Yeah, I double checked. This wasn't the can opener.
No, it's not. I can tell by the look of the bridge.
Mm-hmm. But this is one of those cases where somebody was probably relying too much on their GPS. That's how these things tend to happen.
Reminds me of something I've seen on Steve Inman.
Yeah. Sig, are you familiar with the can opener bridge?
No, not terribly.
We must introduce him later.
Yeah. The short version is it is a bridge in Durham, North Carolina that for the longest time was 11 foot 8 inches clearance.
Oh wow.
The results were inevitable. But here's a bit of a language joke for you all. And I'm not going to try and pronounce all of this, but French, singular, le, la, le, plural, les. Italian, singular, le, lo, la, lo, plural, I, li, le. German, nominative, der, die. I can't do it. I can't do German. Look at it.
I couldn't do German, and I barely know the language.
Yeah, but look at that shit. And then
That's 4 different dialects. Holy crap!
That's not. Those aren't 4 dialects. Those are 4 sub-variations of the.
Holy crap!
You know, where everybody and French and Italian just have different singular and plural versions of the. And people wonder why is it that that English became the trade language? And
Here's your answer.
yeah, there's weird stuff when it comes to English, but when it comes to bullshit, it's on the lower end of the scale. You know, as opposed, if you want the worst case example, one of the worst case examples, look at Arabic, where there's an entire separate language just for talking to two people.
Jeez.
Yeah, whole different words depending on whether you're talking to one person, two people, or more than two people. Or things like assigning genders to inanimate objects, like every Romance language in Europe. hello there, albino. We are doing good. But we talked about Legos before, but here's the Lego Firewalk.
I'd do it.
I saw this at a few malls across the country when the Lego movie came out, and some even before that. After walking D4's a Lego Firewalk, that's fine, because I've walked on hot coals before. It's doable as long as you keep a steady pace. But mad science. Some would burn the world for spite. Others just want to know its ignition point.
Ah!
And now an old classic.
God damn it! I've seen this one before. Oh, that's.
I'll remind you all
As
that I
somebody
have
who's
have a screwed up sense of humor.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, don't lose your head.
As someone who's watched this and reviewed this anime series of the past, good fucking Christ.
And now for a math joke.
Oh, god damn it, I get it.
Yeah, if some of you are going, I don't get it. Think back to Trig. But the barkeeper asked us why we carried weapons on us in the bar. I said mimic. The barkeeper laughed. The party laughed. The table laughed. We killed the table. It was a good time.
I've seen another variation of this joke with Transformers.
Mm-hmm. This one's a bit of a local joke. When they finally come by and plow your street.
That is terrible. How does that even happen? Holy crap!
I think those are Russian plates. They're at the very least European plates. So there's certainly that. But also, I've seen strange things when it comes to the plows. But how many times have I told you, in spellcasting you have to enunciate clearly? Summon Munster.
Hey, being able to summon an infinite supply of cheese?
Mm-hmm. And here's a case of unfortunate phrasing.
Yeah.
Do androids dream of dick?
Nope, not even touching that one.
Yep, moving on. And here
Oh,
we have
God.
the XCOM paradox. Point blank range, 65% chance to hit.
There's a reason I've never played any of the XCOM games.
A bullet may have your name written on it, but a grenade says to whomever it may concern, "Dear grid coordinates." This is pretty much every artillery main. This is their mode of thinking. See that guy over there? Fuck him and everybody around him. At an Irish wedding reception, someone yelled, "Would all the married men please stand next to the one person who has made your life worth living?" The bartender was almost crushed to death.
Yeah.
But that was the last of those memes, which you got a good variety there. Some of them are older ones, and some of them are crazier ones. But since it was brought up, I think I need to load up SyncTube. SyncTube is what I use whenever I want to do group watches together. Especially since I don't have all the other side stuff on YouTube when doing so. For a while, I was using a program called Watch Together, but that, as well as MetaStream, but that program was having synchronization issues. Where people would be out of sync and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We use this a lot for what we call the Hangover Shit Show. Which is just us going through trailers or gameplay reveals during something like but no, during something like the Game Awards or Gamescom or something along those lines.
Right.
So let me set this up. And John, you're already familiar with how these things work.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, this is not your first rodeo with SyncTube. So, let me... So let me post the link for you guys. I'm going to be posting this in Council. As we often say, check the Council.
I see.
So you should be able to see that part at the very least. Let me make sure it's all right. They can see it. So let me grab the proper URL, because I think the first thing that we can show is the compilation for the can opener.
Oh yes.
So give me a moment.
There's a fourth person in here.
I think somebody's in here. Somebody's in there twice.
No, it ain't me. Let me refresh. Nope, ain't me.
So let's see. All right. The 11'8" bridge crash compilation. This is from This is from 2018, but it is still applicable. So let me add that here.
11foot8.com. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Someone made an actual website because that's how often this happened.
John, you may as well give the full context before we start the video, which hopefully you guys can see.
Yeah, basically, even though, as you can see, there are tons of signs saying this bridge is 11'8", so many trucks of all shapes and sizes, of all different kinds, whether it be moving trucks, professional semis, or whatever, ignored the warnings and drove through this thing to inevitable results.
Oh no.
And yeah, there's and as to why it's called the Canoper, well, just the thumbnail alone should give you a pretty good idea of what constantly happened every time a truck drove under this bridge.
Oh yes, I can definitely imagine.
Mm-hmm. And the whole reason a lot of people know about it is because Jürgen Henn, who has an office nearby the thing, decided to set a webcam outside his building just to record the bridge and then would upload crash footage when it happened.
Oh my God.
But the thing got so out of hand that some of the rental trunk companies put a clause in the contract that if you crash on that bridge, they will not cover it.
So it was all on the driver if they decided to be stupid and make the attempt, as it were.
Yeah, because you have to pay for getting the whole bed replaced, and that's like 10 grand. But let's get this show on the road.
Here we go.
So hopefully you guys can hear it proper.
Oh, this is gonna be a... Oh, okay. Oh! Oh no.
And this is one of the tamer ones.
Yeah.
Nope.
No!
Oh, that'll buff right out. But even RVs are not immune.
Good job, you fucked up.
And hang on a sec, I'm not sure why user is showing up right there. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Going
This one was not too bad except for that one little part at the top.
Uh-oh.
You heard that scream.
Oh, what? And then you just went through anyway. Good
You may
job.
as well. You wrecked the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I was well getting...
Oh, this could only end terribly.
Isn't that thing at the top like the AC for that for an RV?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is the same
It's
right,
over.
different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, now you got a sunroof. Ooh,
We said this happened a lot. We meant this happened all the fucking time.
There's a period where there was at least one a month. I mean, the tow truck company loved it.
Oh yeah, I bet they made a fortune off this bridge.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like when Paulie said that Angel Grove has a very robust construction industry. Oh, that'll buff right out. That won't.
Damn!
The city later on would raise the bridge, but still didn't raise it high enough, so it still kept happening, just not as frequently.
Oh yeah. And the reason it took so long to raise it is because there's train tracks over that. And they can't lower the ground because there's a sewer pipe.
So they're kind of catch-22 here.
As far as why it's built so low, this bridge was built in the 1920s.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
And Doku saying you should watch the Snow White chat music videos. Probably not. At least not yet.
Okay, slow motion. Yep.
I'm sure that'll buff right out. This is always funny to me. People think that they can sneak by it if they just drive slow.
Nope.
Nope.
On the one hand, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. These are the ones that are the worst, where you're just stuck there.
Oh! Yep. There is no way you're backing out of that one. Oh, that was all drywall, too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's... Oh.
He killed the fire hydrant. I didn't even know you could do that. That'll buff right out.
Oh, that one wasn't terrible. That, on the other hand...
Yeah. Anybody's wanting to pop in and say hi, congrats on the milestone. Mildred, I'm off to a dinner. No worries, Doku. Hopefully you'll be in a better bar than you were for that Washington game. That's not buffing out.
I'll bet that one scratched the paint at least.
But here, see right here? Overheight must turn. They put in sensors that detect how high you are and will flash that warning when you get close. And people still try it. Oh, you ain't getting it. And now you're still not like... Imagine being in the driver's seat for this. Bonk.
Oh! No, don't try.
No, they did. Apparently he'd sell some of the wreckage as trash art, but
oh, I was about to say that's just the paint, and then wait, nope, that's the door.
I think you can see why the rental companies are like, we're not paying for that.
I mean, I could see because it seems like this happened a lot.
It did, and you can't just glue the thing back together. You got to replace the whole bed.
Oh. The guy back there is just like, what the fuck?
Okay, that could have been worse. Oh, you're not
that sucks. Why? No. That's gonna cost the city a pretty penny.
Yeah, that'll buff out.
I'd say that's just the paint job. And nope, he's stuck.
Again, why do you
Don't
just
try it.
Somehow these brainlets pass the driver exam.
Oh, that was the local rent center. Ooh.
Yep.
Well, at least this one tried to avoid it, but failed miserably.
And loses. Oh, he tried to hit the brakes, but he was too late.
Nope. Oh, that shit's gone.
Yeah.
And you notice that most of these are like rental trucks. They're not.
Yep.
Most semis are smartened up, but a lot of the rental truck drivers, guys who are moving trucks, these guys should know better by now. I know what company that is. Because we have that company, 2 Minute a Truck, here in.
Yep, got it where I am too.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that was bad. Oh.
You gotta believe that the rental companies are probably also like, okay, listen,
This is
here at this. There's probably like they're like, listen, there's this bridge at this location. Do not go there. If you rode there and wrecked this truck, you are responsible for the damage.
A long time ago, I was in Hawaii on holiday, and there were certain places that if you wrecked there, they would not cover because it said in the contract, you will not drive in these areas.
It's a military truck too. That's just disgraceful.
I don't know. I don't know. Given some of the Army stories that I've gotten, that tracks. Uh-oh.
No. Oh.
So if it's 2 men in a truck without the truck, what do they call themselves then? But there is one thing I wanted to share for this stream that I found out about years ago when I was looking through the worst music videos done by football teams to try and see if I could find something worse than the Super Bowl Shuffle. Have any of you ever heard of Masters of the Gridiron?
I have not.
This was something that the Cleveland Browns did in 1986 as a made-for-TV movie that is them trying to do a fantasy spin on their playoff push that year. And it came dangerously close to getting a full-on TV deal.
Oh, jeez.
This is something that has to be seen to be believed. And
I mean, I've seen the Star Wars Christmas special, so I'm down. Let's go.
alright. Apologies for the buzzing. That's what happens when you're dealing with a recording from the 80s. But okay, why the hell is that user thing showing up there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a refresh. Give me a second. Okay, now it's not there. Yeah, that was weird.
A high-tech production, as opposed to low-tech.
This almost got a TV distribution deal with CBS. How?
Because it was directed by Randy Martin, apparently.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, the logo looks pretty cool.
I feel like I owe an apology to all those bad anniversary movies that guy with the glasses used to do.
Oh, come on, this isn't WWF. Stop that.
Hey guys, listen up.
I'll give him props for his choice of books.
I've got a telegram from the mayor. I want you all to hear it. Good luck out there today. I'd really like to see you guys bring home a championship ring to Cleveland.
Spoiler warning, the 86 Browns did not bring a championship because Elway happened.
Gotta love that copyright-free Eye of the Tiger ripoff there.
Yeah. Hang on, let me mute the virtual audio. That was a bit of an issue. Sorry about that. It just seems like a standard game of hand egg, but trust me, it gets weirder. Though, I feel like somebody has the urge to play Tecmo Super Bowl watching this. And Mario's saying, Monk at CBS. The better question is, how was this made into a series? It wasn't.
I'm expecting one of them to yell, "You got knocked the fuck out!"
Open your eyes, Mike. Wake up, Mike. Wake up, Bab.
Wake up.
Wake up, Mike.
Wake up. Wake up. Arise, barbarian, O great warrior.
What the?
I must send you on a journey. A journey that will test all of your warrior skills.
A journey? What is this great journey you seek to send me on, O ruler
And
of the
why am
city
I
by the lake
naked?
called Erie?
Barbarian, I beseech you to take your warrior clan in search of a great ring. A ring that is only worn by those known as the Masters of the Gridiron. The ring is now in the possession of the mysterious Lord of the League. Your quest to bring the ring to the
just
great
wait till
city
you
will
see
be
the
hard
quote-unquote
and filled
Lord.
with many dangers. You will have to do battle with the mysterious Lord's beasts such as bears, rams, and falcons. But once you are victorious, the ring will be yours, and the city by the lake called Erie will be home to the Masters of the Gridiron.
I, ruler of our great city, I shall undertake this quest to bring back with me the ring worthy of the Masters of the Gridiron.
And so Barbarian went forth to gather his great warrior clan, the clan of Modilla. And the call
On the one hand, he's got the right
resounded
attitude.
along the shores of the Great Lake.
On the other hand,
It echoed through the valleys and across the hills.
he wanted to make this into a series.
And the warriors came forth.
Okay, hang on. We need to look at this map.
and the call resounded along the shores of the Great Lake. It echoed through the valleys and across the hills. The warriors heard, and the warriors came forth.
City by the lake. Western Road. Linebacker.
From the plain.
Town of Quarta.
Past Russian came the
Plains of
Golikon, Kuzmong, and
So
Hairstone.
this is how fantasy football was made?
To crush
God, I wish. I'd actually play
In
fantasy
the
football.
hills of Linebacker, the call was heard by the fierce and agile
Hey,
Quayrock.
this
and
is an
Nikolai.
idea to write down.
Or are you going in the back going, write that down?
Setting out from the village of
Village of
Receivers was the magical wizard,
I mean-
able to deceive many a man with
I've come up with
quickness of
worse
foot and
ideas.
sleight of hand. In the town of Porta, the javelin thrower Pegalion prepared for battle.
Pegalion? Oh, that was the
From
camera guy.
mines
Come
at
on.
Offensia, Pike the Fierce, Macmolus, and Binethor gathered their arms. And from the backfields of the
If any
hamlet of
football
Intercept
fanatic
came
tries to say
Dick
they're
Sumner,
not nerds,
feared for the
show them this and
viciousness
say,
quickness
you
of
really
his
want to go
attack.
there?
And they all came forth before Barbarian to hear of their great journey.
Hear me, warriors of the clan of Modella. We are about to begin our quest for the ring worn by the masters of the Gridiron. Let any man weak of heart be gone.
Okay, why does he have the
For
earring?
The journey will be a dangerous one.
Must be from the USFL.
Oh, there goes the comic relief.
Oh. For a bit of context, around this time, the USFL was competing with the NFL. They were grabbing a bunch of players because they had a ridiculous sum of money. They only lasted about 2 years.
Barbarian, we are the warrior clan of Modella, and we will go forth as one and fight to the death if we must. To the death! To the death! On to the plane of battle!
And we said those anniversary movies were bad. At least those could excuse their bad budgets.
Yeah, but you gotta also take into account this was the mid-late 80s.
This was 86.
This kind of thing was, yeah.
Yeah, we all know 3 or 4 lines. But there's a part of me that would love to have been a fly on the wall when this was pitched to whoever producer decided to go through with it.
Now that was the best boy. He was in the shot.
It is the counsel of the Lord of the League, and there he stands.
You guys know who this is, right?
Not a clue.
That's Tiny Tim.
I was
Holy
gonna say!
I am not doing a Tiny Tim voice. I can't get that high up, but that's fucking Tiny Tim. How the hell did he get roped into this?
He was short on his rent for the month.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Oh, you are so not Alice Cooper.
Think about that face and try to sleep tonight.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He has powers beyond those of mortal men.
Oh, great warriors, please do speak. I know you've traveled far. What is it that you seek?
We mean to have the ring of the masters of the gridiron.
Come forth, my fairest, and let the clan of Modella gaze at the treasure they seek.
Yes, my lord. Behold, the great ring.
Not sure who the kid is, but
Hear me now, you warrior lords. To wear this ring, you must take up your swords in combat against enemies on the field of battle. I must see the steel clash and hear the armor rattle. And when the dust has settled, weapons their misery no longer sing. Only those who have conquered on the bloody plain will wear the master's ring. Look to the field, minions of Modella. Your enemies await you.
I'm not sure if...
No, they did not.
Yeah, they did.
God damn it.
This technically counts as a music video. I have no idea who the band is behind it, but... You know, this could have been just an afternoon in the SCA. Okay, why are you trying to stab with a... And what? What?
Yeah, I had no context for that. Where'd the bear come from? Oh, this must be the party druid. That's what it is.
So we have barbarians versus samurai.
Didn't Ubisoft make a game about this?
No, this is too competent for Ubisoft.
I mean, is he wrong?
No, he's not.
And spoiler warning, I'm probably going to be making fun of Ubisoft again before the month is out.
Oh no, yeah.
With the whole...
Seriously, where the fuck did the bear come from?
Did they borrow it from Lou Ferrigno?
Maybe.
Like, I'm not sure if they understood the assignment or didn't understand it enough.
They're trying their best. They're getting paid like $100, probably.
At least the bear's on a leash.
Okay, that was so staged.
But I feel like whoever this band is trying way too hard to be Kenny Loggins. It's a staff. Why are you stabbing?
Ow. At least break a rib. Oh.
Mario's saying, well, that edible from a week ago finally...
Hey, what the fuck are you running for? They dropped the ring!
Victory is near, barbarian! But look! The evil lord, he flees! There you go, Khan! The lord is mine!
I'm pretty sure they didn't build that castle, so I'm wondering where that was. But I haven't been to Cleveland in at least 20 years.
Lord of the League, you have something that belongs to us. We mean to have it.
Give him the ring, my lord. It is rightly his.
Island! Worm! Not so easily won, barbarian. You still have one fight to finish, and it will be your last.
What the hell was any of that?
I have no idea.
I might be a novice swordsman, but even I have to wonder what the hell any of that was.
I can hear Doku having an aneurysm.
Oh, what the actual fuck, dude?
What are you, Abdullah the Butcher? Don't answer that.
Again, I tell you, Lord of the League, the ring.
Ah, yes, the ring. I suppose it does belong to you. Ring, wench.
What the hell is with that grin?
Hey, Barry. All right, all right.
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up, Mike, wake up. Open your eyes, Mike. Wake up, Mike. Wake up, Bab. Wake up, Mike.
Wait, what?
Okay, what? Okay, cheesy as that was actually kind of entertaining.
Yeah. Of all the bad music videos that came out during that time, and believe me, there are worse ones. And Set the Edge has done a decent video breaking down how good or bad each of them was. This was the most memorable, I guess, if only because of the fact that it was trying something more than what the others were doing, which was just doing really, really bad 80s rap.
Credit for the effort, at least.
Yeah, good effort, have some stake. But at
Michael Stanley Band.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm sitting here going, you guys actually thought you could do a full TV movie distribution thing for this.
Probably wouldn't have lasted more than an episode, but
there's a small part of me that would like to see them do like a 30-minute TV special just for the sheer what the fuckery in the papers the next day.
I'd watch it.
But it's clear that there's no way you could have done this if you weren't a massive Conan fan. I think Bab was for this, because he was the one who pushed for this idea. This was his baby. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Conan as well, but still, man. Although at the very least they did everything by the book. But just the fact that this even saw the light of day is something astonishing. You know, I made the comparison earlier to those That Guy with the Glasses anniversary movies, but I'm trying to figure which would fall under buy or sell for that kind of thing. This or fucking Kick-Assia.
I haven't seen Kick-Assia in a long time.
From World Entertainment Network. Could you have a more generic-ass name for your production company? Like, seriously. But the fact that that was actively considered is just amazing to me. And as far as it probably would have gotten that if it weren't for local Elway Ruins Everything, because 1986 was the year of what's known to Browns fans as the drive, i.e. a long drive that ended up causing the Browns to choke again. But I just had to show that, because if I had said, oh, the Ace football team tried to make a fantasy movie, people would be aghast. But it's one thing for me to say it; it's another thing to actually see it.
I had no idea this existed until today. Holy crap!
And I've known it existed for a while, for less than a year, and I'm like, I have to inflict this on people because it is just. Actually, no. You know what? Let me do one better. Which was the worst kind of attempt at 80s cheese? This or those mini movies that WCW did back in the day?
Oh, that's a tough call. Those are on the same level at this point.
That's why I had to ask.
I haven't heard the name or seen anything from WCW in a long time.
You're gonna hear a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar names in my monastery, Sig.
Oh boy,
because that's kind of how we run things. A lot.
Hey?
I may have the reputation of being the tabletop guy, but I am by no means limited to that. And there's no shortage of bits of insanity that I do around here. And let me see in the chat. So we had a few things from Mario on the YouTube ends, saying, Monk, it's CBS. The better question is how this was made into a series. It wasn't made into a series. It was just one thing. Then, well, that restored my faith in humanity just a little. I don't know why some people thought this was a TV series. It never was. Believe me, if it was a TV series, I guarantee you all would have heard of it. And if Lord of the Rings was written by drunk rednecks, I could have swore Man Shorts already did that. Yeah. Well, that edible from a week ago finally kicked in.
Yeah.
Jeez,
must have been some weak edible, though. Though speaking of edibles, that's as good a time as any to share one thing that my good friend JT had informed me about. Are any of you familiar with a comedian known as Randy Feltface?
Oh God, yes.
Sounds familiar. I'd probably know him if I saw him.
You want to give the skinny, John, or should I?
So Randy Feltface it's actually a pair of British comedians, believe it or not. This is something I learned recently. And the gimmick is that Randy is a puppet. But he is not afraid to pull his punches. He does not pull his punches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's British. That comes with the territory.
Yep.
Yeah. And this was the following skit, and if I'm going to show one skit to demonstrate him, there's only one that is applicable, and that's the drugs skit. So let me load that up for you guys. I had. Let me try that again, because it gave me a extensive link. So, take 3. I think I might just have to grab the share link just straight from it. So, let's try that again. And okay, Okay, let's try.
Ruh-roh. I was about to say, Ruh-roh, I think the audio cut out.
I'm trying to add the video, but it doesn't want to take. Oh. Yeah, let me try a different tact. Yeah, it's supposed to show up right there, but it doesn't want to go. Huh. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and no, this does not count as scuff. So let me try a different one, and it may be just a case where some places don't like. Okay, that one worked. So why didn't the other one work? So let me try. All right, never mind.
We're having Christmas.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to show blue foods.
We're having here, right? 3 months out. My cousin calls me to discuss her son.
And hang on, I just realized I forgot to turn on the window capture. Sorry about that, folks.
We're having Christmas at my house this year, right? 3 months out. My cousin calls me to discuss her son, my cousin's son, which makes him someone I couldn't give a fuck about. Anyway. She calls me up. The first thing she says, she doesn't even say hello. The first thing she says is, Brayden can't have blue.
What?
What the fuck? Brayden can't eat blue foods. Apparently this kid, if he eats anything with a blue food preservative in it, he just taps out. That is bullshit. Firstly, don't call your kid Brayden. Secondly, blue is not even a natural colour for foodstuffs.
Seriously, there are some names that you just should not choose as parents. John, I know you and I made the joke about how we were imploring to Japanese parents everywhere, do not name your kid Hojo. You are asking for trouble.
Oh, no.
And we're not bringing up Final Fantasy with that. We're bringing up Kamen Rider Agito. Because Hojo was a bitch.
It occurs very rarely in nature. Name me one blue food.
Oh, yeah.
Blueberries are fucking purple! I'm talking about Mentos blue, like 7-Eleven slushy blue. What flavour is that? Fucking highlighter? I know, Randy, blue means mint. Mint is green. If you planted mint and it came up blue, you would set that shit on fire. And it's cool. It's cool. It's like ice. It's like water. Water is clear. The only time water is blue is when there's billions of tons of it and it's all in the one spot. And then it's got all sorts of shit in it, like salt and sharks. Blue means sharks in it.
Yeah, I have seen this around, actually. I was like, oh, okay, that's who that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why the and the thing about him is that he uploads his full specials onto his YouTube page.
A lot of comedians have been doing that lately, actually.
Mm-hmm. Probably because they can't do. You don't have a whole lot of impact with like Comedy Central as much anymore.
No.
So that is the best place to put it, but
until you get a Netflix deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But then And of course, then some older sketches end up getting noticed. I still have on occasionally showing up in my algorithm that one time that Mousy got exposed when watching an old Fluffy sketch.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, come on, the Puerto Rican girl watching the Spanish speaking comedian. Are you really that surprised?
Well, you've seen that sketch, haven't you, where he's talking about the different ways Latinos speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, the best part about that is if you pause it when he did that, it's like he's looking right at her. Like, I know what you're on about, you fucking gremlin. But well, there is one apparently called Drugs and Basketball.
It's got sharks in it!
Alright, you gotta go through the whole thing.
Adam, what did you do today? You played basketball with your chums or at a professional level? Chums? How many aside? 5 aside B-ball. Whereabouts? Warwick. Warwick? I know not where Warwick is. Warwick. Is Warwick renowned for its basketball courts? No? No! What's Warwick renowned for? Drugs! Huzzah! Yeah!
Hey Monk, would you like Mario saying, "Hey Monk, would you like a gift basket?"
So
Sure.
Is basketball just a front for your drug operation? Adam, what's the thing that you like doing most in the world outside of basketball? Because that was a fucking comedy dead end. What? Traveling? Where's the nicest and funnest place you've been? Where do you like the most? Canada. Woo! Where in Canada do you like to go? Vancouver? That was a question. Vancouver? Or Ottawa? You decide, Randy. It's your show. I'm not making your choices for you, Adam. Commit. Say Vancouver with confidence. Where's your favourite place in Canada? Fuck yeah!
I would have said Vancouver with confidence.
Balcony, he said Vancouver. Tell me, Adamski, if I was the mayor of Warwick, could happen. What's the first thing you would want me to do in Warwick to change things? You don't know? Do you live in Warwick? You don't live there. It's just where you play basketball. Where do you live? Dutch? Dutch? Did you say murder? What?
You get shot there.
Hey? What did you say?
You get shot there for drugs.
All I can hear is What did you say? What's it called? Dark.
I'm pretty sure this wasn't part of the plan, but that's how it works in stand-up sometimes.
Jesus Christ. This has turned into what happens when someone gets impatient in charades and just starts yelling the words. No, you fucking idiot! Darts, gun, bang! Bang gun! How is this not a gun, you fucking idiot? This is why we fight on holiday! It's over, Gary! I'm taking the kids!
Yeah. But and Mario, if I'm not sure what is meant by a gift basket, but I'm not gonna say no. Because I doubt I'm being set up for some kind of trap. You wouldn't do that. But with that in mind, I really feel like I was missing something. I'm sorry that the sketch that I wanted to show I couldn't. But I know what I know. So I'm not really a big soccer fan, but I ended up coming across CBS's soccer program called Golazo, and there is a certain team there who's from in the Premier League who's from France, known as Brest. I think
God. Oh. Took me a moment.
And the jokes were inevitable. To the point that they made it that there is a 4-minute compilation of that there was a full-on compilation of it, and I've seen people compare Golazo to Inside the NBA on TNT, and I can see why. So let me show you guys this.
Brest make a special game for the club who have never before played in Europe.
I mean, the story is just, as you said, you never played in Europe before, so just imagine your first games in Europe are going to be in the Champions League. I mean, the story is just crazy, really. Even me saying that Brest are going to...
How's it going? You're enjoying seeing that, aren't you?
Those guys.
Talking about the scenery in Monaco.
It's just like Leicester winning the Premier League. Those type of stories just don't happen like that. It's just crazy to have this team. I was about to say the name again in Champions League.
Brest actually play Bayer Leverkusen match day 3, so that'd be an interesting one.
It's a big one. Like sometime name. Oh my God. No, you know what?
It's a big one.
Go. It's a big game.
Jamie, what's up with you?
Because we both top, so obviously it's a big game.
A bit lopsided, I think.
Even the producers can't keep...
The Brest in the second position.
Anyway, should we? Sure. Oh, good news, everybody. We have a guest coming into the show. They'll enjoy joining this, won't they? Apparently, Karim Adeyemi is getting mic'd up to come and join us on this one. Ooh. Hey, good.
I am great.
Patrick, top of the table, Dortmund, they are top of the table because of goal difference. Brest in second place, the big story right now, French football, and as we all know on this show, we all love a bit of Brest. So, we move on.
Well, it's a fair point.
I mean...
we are going to do a segment about Brest.
And then it just cuts right there.
You've consistently proven that you can't stay professional in these segments where we're talking about Brest. So production would like to ask you, are you comfortable with just staying silent whilst we...
Come on, Kat, I can do this.
No, we really think it's for the best. We think it's for the best.
About it.
Not a word, just silent, invisible, no laughs, Is that okay? Can we agree?
This is easier said than done.
Can we agree?
You can't trust me?
No, we can't. Experience has taught us not to trust you in this area.
No, we
I'm
can't.
sorry. No. If you could just agree, and we can move on with the segment, please.
Right.
Thanks very much. All right, so after 4 games, who here likes Brest? Like Brest? You do too?
I like the shape of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the setup and the manager he's got.
Dude was not holding back.
He's got
They
a
knew
function
what
tonight.
they were dealing with. They knew.
Yeah, two big pair up front that are going to
He's
try to
dying over
This
there.
poor guy, he's being
Trouble.
tortured with this.
Yeah.
I'm interested in how
Dude
much
is
do you
trying
enjoy
so
watching them?
hard.
Would you pay to watch them?
I have done.
But basically, one thing that you can say is you don't have to be big. You can be small and compete.
That's interesting. Good. Do you think Brest could get exposed tonight?
I hope so.
You guys are gonna buy it.
What is this nonsense? HR. Wow.
What do you reckon, Mikey? Do you think Barcelona could come a bit quickly for Brest tonight?
Wow!
Oh, just wait for it.
I'm taking the 5th.
Let's have a serious conversation, shall we? Brest, at this point in time.
Serious conversation. She's cracking that type of joke. Come on.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
It's a very serious question.
She was
as a French
fucking
side.
with her at that
That's
point.
Something that going into this
Good
stage,
on her,
this
personally.
league phase, even though, yes, it's a league phase that maybe gave more opportunity to other teams, it's still not what we would have expected.
No, and yesterday when you asked me, obviously talking about the big guns being where they are and low where they were, it was just, you know, something that I mentioned, and seeing Brest going through is just really, like I said, I've been saying it for a very long time. I didn't think I was going to see it one day, but it did happen.
I'm looking forward to the 3 French teams. Let me not mention PSG. You know, what have we got here? Look at this. We've got Lille. Where have we got? Monaco. But my favourite, Brest.
Yeah.
They look like they're going to go forward into that last day. Why are you laughing? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay. Jamie?
No.
Anything to add?
No, they're in a great position.
Why are we what are we doing this? That joke's already been done.
Here's what we want to talk to you about, because I think this is quite exciting news. Because I think it may be fair to say that you have single-handedly put Brest on the map this season in the Champions League.
Oh, really?
Yes, you know, you're a big fan of...
Let him recover.
Big fan of theirs. I think that, you know, they've also wanted to show CBS and you that they're a big fan of yours. They appreciate the support. So they've actually sent us a little note.
Oh!
I'd like to read to everybody.
Read it nice and loud, please.
Oh, here you go. Dear friends of CBS, many thanks for your close attention to Brest's performances since the start of the Champions League. We all enjoy watching your many laughs on the studio. So we've made a special shirt for Micah. We couldn't resist giving a Stade Brestois shirt to our own legend, Thierry Henry, to whom we send our warmest greetings. So,
Nothing for me, Kate, no?
No, you didn't get a mention. I believe this is your shirt. Listen, I'm just reading out the card. It is what it is. That's your shirt,
Thank
Thierry.
you very much.
And this, my friend Micah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, we should let them,
Thank you.
you know,
Wow.
everybody see.
Thank you very much.
Yes, lover.
Yes.
I got Henry.
I've never been able to get my hands on Brest.
You seem so disappointed.
Anyway.
Look at Henry, he's so disappointed.
Finish the show, innit? Why not?
Why not? Fantastic.
I always wonder if a segment hasn't
You can
gone
imagine
down very
Mike
well
was
when
wearing that
everybody in
shirt
my
for
ear goes
days on end just for the
absolutely
fuck of it.
And you're thinking, ooh, this segment not work?
Honestly, where are we going? Where's the camera? Where are we looking? Camera 4. I don't need to say camera 4,
I
sorry.
can't believe they left me out with the jersey.
Yeah.
I produced the best one-liner when we did that.
What was it?
I'm not saying. I had the best one-liner. What was it then?
No, don't get it.
Not.
Oh, you
From the CBS family, I just want to say thank you very much, Monsieur. Really appreciated. You've been an excellent job in the Champions League this season. Long may it continue.
And we've always been big fans of yours, and we always will be.
Yes. Leave me out of it. I don't feel that way.
What happens when I play Nice?
Anyway.
No, he's like, nope, I'm out.
Done.
That's it. That is it. CBS Champions League coverage par excellence. We hope you enjoyed it. We will be back January 29th. That is a week from today with the final day of the league phase play. We cannot wait. What?
I might not be here.
Why not? You'll be here.
Will I?
Yeah, you're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Thank you for joining us. Take care. God bless you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
He's just over there like, nope, not getting involved in this.
I will speak. I can definitely assure you.
Hang on, I gotta rewind on that.
Thank you for joining us. Take care. God bless you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Sad though, Micah. No more Brest this year.
Speak for yourself, Kate.
Oh, I think you can see why I ended up becoming fans of these guys. Good lord. Yeah, you can kind of see a bit of a dynamic. They ended up making fun of themselves once because they accidentally said that they were on Fox. And then immediately like, we are so fucking sacked. I mean, none of them got sacked, obviously, but there seems... I enjoy the dynamic that they end up having, where you've got two people who are trying to be professionals, or rather, one that lady on the far end who has the most professional demeanor, but seems to be like Kenny on Inside the NBA, where they like to try and start shit.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just found them by accident, and I'm like, I enjoy this. This is the kind of dynamic that I enjoy. The whole professional caster, I can take or leave that. It's when the casters are able to go a little bit unhinged that is always the most fun. That's why the casters are some of my favorite parts of like games done quick. Just because I know some kind of bullshit is gonna happen. Because hey John.
Yo.
Prizes.
Prizes.
And just slinking off. And hey there, Karu. I see you in the chat. Welcome to the complete insanity of the most unhinged live stream I've done in quite a while. Because yeah, it is new model debut. I showed you the original setup, and I'd shown John and some of the others the setup that I had, and I really like how this is set up. I took this as an opportunity to do a re-debut because my original debut was kind of a shit show because we had 10 people in one call.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess.
It was an enjoyable mess, but it was a mess nevertheless. And obviously with this one, things are a little bit saner. I was able to do a full presentation. But it's been a bit of a fun thing. I know I brought up Geek Watch, but I am thinking about having Geek Watch be a semi-regular thing instead of a full-on weekly thing. You know, we'll do it when the muse strikes us, and doing more firesides or more reactions like this.
This has definitely been a good time, I'll tell you that.
But and at the very least, I can say that it's going to be more entertaining than say watching an MCU movie, because I got the reports for the second week for Captain America. You know, Captain America: Brave New World. Yeah, it's a flop. A lot of people were like, "No, this wasn't a flop. Look at how well it did first week." Anything can do well first week. It's the second week you need to be paying attention to. You know, because it's on that second week that you'll see how things are really shaking out. But and thank you for the congrats on the 2.0. I do hope to have you back in the monastery sometime in the future, Hikaru, as soon as we can figure out the angle to go with. Which, admittedly, when it comes to setting up collabs, I've been having better luck lately. In some cases using Tabletop Simulator as an icebreaker. Which, John, you remember that Embryo Machine game that you had showed me a long time ago because some of your con buddies were playing that?
Yeah.
That is on TTS, and there's even a TTRPG spin-off of it.
Huh.
The board game is officially translated. The RPG, not so much. But in addition to all of that, I will note I was recently a judge on a Create a Lifeform contest for Cloudbreaker Alliance. Basically people submitting races for a I can't remember if it was a contest with actual prizes or just a bragging rights kind of thing. It was just designing a life form, i.e. a race, for his game. And John, you and I have covered Cloudbreaker Alliance because that was the subject of one of our one-shots. Where we had CJ on for that, and it was a fun experience. There's always some fun to be had with the one-shots whenever we've done them. But I do want to pick your brain on something, because obviously covering tabletop is something I'd want to do, but I don't want to cover it in just the manner of reviews and actual plays, because I don't think that is the best expression of the totality of the experience.
Nah.
But what sort of ideas do you think would be good angles to lean into when it comes to covering the totality of tabletop as a universe?
Honestly, when it comes to any kind of tabletop experience, I think the best way for people to learn about a game is to see it experienced firsthand. You know, that's the one-shots we've done are probably the best ways we could experience it.
Mm-hmm.
You get an idea of the mechanics, how they work. You get an idea of what kind of stories you could tell with that. And just generally get a better feel for what kind of game you can make using that system.
Which, a big reason why I did that, and I do remember telling you when we were cooking up the idea of the cloister, that I wanted it to be transparent, since I've looked at my fair share of actual plays from a lot of different content creators, and no shame to them. They all do great work, but one problem that I have had with a lot of their output is the fact that they are not willing to share with the class. Like, I remember coming across Terrible Warriors years ago, and they were running a Mega Man X themed campaign. And the question that was at the back of my mind was, okay, what system are you using? Because that can open up a lot of questions. And they wouldn't say. And I did some digging about it to find, it's a in-house thing, but I'm like, I feel like in not telling people that kind of thing, you end up doing tabletop as a whole a disservice. Now, I know with some there could be the argument of, well, we're using 5e, so that's a natural thing to assume. You know what they say about assuming, right?
It makes an
my old
ass
teacher
out of
used to
you
say, never
and
make
me.
assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, never. Or as one of my old teachers used to say, never make assumptions. It makes an ass out of you and umptions.
Yep. And when it comes, this is the reason why things like Session 0 are things that we handle publicly. I think a lot of people would just put out Session 1 and then have the characters there, and I'm like, why? Ultimately, my goal is to have people see this and want to try running campaigns themselves. And I've seen it happen. And on the other end, I've seen people watch, say, Critical Role, want to do campaigns and get absolutely no help. And that kind of thing frustrates me. because it frustrates me because of the fact that people they clearly want to try this kind of thing, but they're not given guidance. That was a big thing when I was in that one dust up with Legion of Myth. See, I think I told you about that briefly. Why I only was on that show once, and I've never been on there since. Mostly,
I think you discussed that briefly.
Yeah, the short version is that Zan and I ended up getting ambushed regarding our stance on the relationship between video games and TTRPGs. We were under the impression that we were going to discuss the complementary relationship that they have. Instead, it became about us having to justify that when they wanted to assume a adversarial relationship. And
that's no way to go about it.
Not to mention operating under the assumption that I should have already known how the show was going to work when they had 3 weeks to brief me, which is not standard. But the point is that I want as many people playing as many different games as I can. Some of those games I'm not going to be running personally. I don't care how they get to the dance so long as they're at the dance.
Yeah.
And I remember there was that one thing about how people aren't role playing right, and I'm like, your definition of role playing right is method acting. Even in professional circles, method actors are rare. But I think one of the big how the hell did this even happen kind of things looking back was even getting the gig doing Rider all those years ago. I think that's what, 8 years ago now.
Good God, yeah, we may not have liked the guy. We may end up not liking the guy that introduced you to us, but I gotta admit that was one of the smartest things he ever did. Was like, because we wanted to do this. For those who don't know the history of how Monk got to meet me and my crew, we were, us being big Toku geeks, we wanted to do a Toku-themed tabletop, and we had looked at a couple of options, and I was like, okay, we could do this. We just need to find a DM to help run it.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy we were working with at the time, who ended up being a total creep, but that's another story, he suggested Monk. And when he showed me that Monk was a bit of a guru when it came to tabletop, I'm like, well, I don't think we could find anybody better who could run this for us. So we reached out and got in contact with Monk and got everything squared away. And little did we know, we'd end up making a friend for life out of the whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Even though I spent years being not satisfied with how that first campaign turned out, it has created some of our more longest running memes. Also, Coops, I see you in the chat. Get your ass in here.
Come on. Why aren't you fucking here, pal?
Do I need... If you don't get in here, I'm gonna tell everyone that you're an SAO stan.
Ooh, and you don't want that.
No,
Seriously.
That's a low blow.
Look, I've told you guys before, I don't believe in hitting a man while he's down. I believe in kicking him because that's easier.
And the kick in the nuts is a game changer.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the first one that we did, I will note, at the time I was under the impression that I had to pick one of the two options that was given to me. Option A was a thread for a Sentai character class using D&D 3.5. It was a thing on Giant in the Playground. Option B was a game called Rider the Transformation, which was a fork of Princess the Hopeful. And between those two, I chose the latter because I felt I could do more with the concept. However, there was one thing that's been standard for at least 20 years. And hell, it was standard for years by that point that we did this. That was not in the rulebook, and I had to house rule it myself, even though the house rule was busted. And that's form switching for writers. I realize it sounds ridiculous that that wasn't something that was in the core book, but that's how it was. And I will note recently, I've shared this elsewhere, but I did have several of the characters in that campaign made into their own art, and I will share that with you guys. Now, Zan has now, John, you've already seen the art. I showed this to you a while back, but Sieg hasn't. So let me load this up, and need to load it in the right image viewer. There we go. So, and I just realized I forgot to hit some screen share. Let me get that.
Oh, that's pretty badass looking.
Yeah. This is Kamen Rider Lin. This was Maddie's character, because he wanted to make a Jerry Lynn joke. I feel like I let this one down the most because he wanted to implement a lot of Lucha Libre elements into his fighting style, and we weren't able to do it because of the limitations of the system and it being another system that doesn't quite understand grappling. A lot of games don't. But then I had said, we're going with fire themed. We're going with a Showa era throwback, hence the scarf. But go with a gas stove kind of fire. And then there was Tempest. This was Mike Shell's character. And this was the start of Mike Shell Does Dumb Things.
Okay.
Which, John, I think this is as good a time as any to run back Mike Shell's many blunders.
Oh,
yes.
No.
Let's start with, now you notice the giant tower shield there off to the right.
Yep.
It was supposed to the part in the middle is supposed to be a turret that he had. He would set the shield down and use it like a stationary turret to fight off his enemies. Smart move. Cut to our first battle. Fucker decides instead of using the turret like he had planned, like he himself had designed it, he wanted to be Captain fucking America.
Mm-hmm.
The entire fight, he just kept throwing the damn shield.
And I have refused to let that go.
Me and Maddie are over here using the abilities we designed the way we intended, the way it was supposed to be, and here he is going completely against his own character. It's one thing if it's a pre-gen and you don't know what you're doing and you're not sure how to use it correctly, fair. But he made this character himself!
Yeah, I gave everybody the chance to make some cool-ass weapon. The shield gun was his idea. And I told him when we did the post show for it, I will never let this go as long as I live.
Spoilers, we haven't.
Yeah, I said I will not get over that. And it would be one thing if that was just an isolated case, but there were other cases in later games that he would do something stupid. Is I have to bring up Varric.
That one you got revenge on him for.
Yeah. We did after Ryder, we did a Numenera campaign. Admittedly, and the reason I picked Numenera is because I asked the audience what sort of genre they'd like to see, and some people got it, others didn't. I hate to break it to some of you, but Doctor Who is not a genre. And what the dominating vote was for something sci-fi, which was fine. I kind of cheated with Numenera because it's not necessarily sci-fi in the way people think. It is straddling the line. But his character, Varric, was a man-whore. Let's not sugarcoat it. He was a hoe who belonged in the hoe bag, given the amount of pants he would chase. Then he ends up meeting a character known as the Red Mother, who is the mentor of John's character.
Oh shit!
And
yeah, that name alone should give you an idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I get the feeling I know where this is going, but go ahead.
Yeah. After one part of the adventure, said Red Mother had to let off some steam and dragged Varric along with her.
Well, to be fair, Varric started flirting with her, and she made it clear, "You sure you want to do this?" And he went for it.
And they found him a couple days later, barely alive. Because, yes, death by snoo-snoo.
Near death by snoo-snoo, to be fair.
Yeah. I would call... and, of course, the ultimate revenge was gender-swapping his character at the very end.
Oh, that was evil. I loved it.
Yeah. But... Then there was John's character, who ended up being the most OP thing in the universe by the end of things, as well as he was the one who I had to invent a new utility forms for. And part of the reason I was so aghast at the idea of utility forms being something I had to make is that's been a thing in Common Writer since 1988. Oh, and hey there, Coops. There you are.
Calling me an SAO stay out the blue? Shame on you.
Hey, it got your ass in here.
Didn't it?
Hell no.
Hey, good timing, because I got to tag out, because I got to go pick up my wife.
All right, stay frosty,
right.
John.
Have a good night, guys.
Letters.
But then, like I said, there was John's character, and hang on, let me add Coops' reactive to the thing. There we go. You may have heard Coops in a previous episode, because he was the guy who was helping me through part of the month of Megaten back in December.
Yeah, I think I've heard him before.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, so Coops, Sig, Coops. Be nice.
Hi there.
Hey there.
But, like I said, getting back to it, then there was John's character who... we went with elemental forms because he wanted to go with a more magic-leaning approach. Well, more magic tech is how he described it to me. And eventually... But instead of using, like, the Hellenistic elements, we went with the Wuxing Chinese elements. The base form would be the Earth form of his character, Common Writer Virtue. As you can see there, that is Earth form.
Yep.
Oh.
Ooh.
The second form that he unlocked was Fire. which I'll show that there. You know, going from a sword to going to dual sabers. I think there was an earlier variant that had a bit more red, but I asked to dial back on the red. And Coops, I'm getting background noise from you.
Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm currently at Graham's.
Ah, no worries. But then there was water form, which I wanted to emphasize the whole idea of water as a whole being the changing state. So that's why you have essentially a 3-section staff made out of water and ice. But then there was wood, which went with a staff. And
I like staff.
The last of the main 5 was metal, which was the tank form. As you can see there.
Nice.
And then there were 2 upgrade forms, the incomplete version of the upgrade form and the completed version. The incomplete version was known as Asura form. The basic idea was it was attempting to channel all 5 elements, but kept switching between them randomly. Kind of like the metronome move in Pokemon does a random training machine move.
Right.
But there is Asura. And then the completed final form, which was Nirvana. Ooh. And admittedly, creating a design outline for Nirvana was tricky because it's meant to be a mix of the elements, and I suggested the idea that it is using the same weapon techniques, but the weapon is made of pure energy.
Right.
And that's how that ended up turning out.
That's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. And that was how the first campaign got started, and then there were shifts into other campaigns. Some things that we did as one shot, some that we did as full campaigns. We did a whole ass campaign of the Enemy Within campaign using Warhammer 3rd Edition. And I do like that the whodunit that we did was able to last as long as it did. Because the big mystery was, who is the Black Cow? And there were a lot of potential candidates, but there was only one that could. What was that, Coops?
Fucking Amber Alerts.
But there were 3 people who could have done it. It was more of who actually did it, and all of them had means, motive, and opportunity, which is the important thing to have in a whodunit mystery. But, and I know some might go, why would you use 3rd edition? 3rd edition sucked. I don't think it sucked. I just think it was a little bit too dedicated to some ideas over others. I know that some people are like, this was just a means for them to sell another board game, because Fantasy Flight Games was known for board games for a lot of their run, and still is. But that is the cynical way to look at things, and I don't do cynicism. But you know, after a bit, I did try and do the Zeitgeist campaign with them, but around that time, I was having to produce the stream and GM at the same time, and I learned the hard way I can't do that. So there was a period of several years where I wasn't doing any GMing, at least not with them. Then Kay pitches the idea of acting as the producer for me. And the wheels start turning in my head. And once a certain idea gets stuck in your head, it doesn't leave.
Yep.
So eventually, I ended up doing the project. And the first game that we did was Emberwind, which I did. One of the things I distinctly remember from that was the back and forth I had with Coops' first character design, because the original concept he had for his first character was a little bit too standard fantasy.
Yeah, I think I tried to go with the entire whole black mage type of thing.
Yeah, but you were playing an Ardent. And Ardents are all about throwing around energy. They're not really the typical mage in that sense.
Right.
So it's one of those things that's why I had suggested something. I think I had channeled a bit of Don Quixote, specifically Doflamingo Don Quixote.
Yeah.
And the rest was history. But we've been keeping the current version of the Cloister semi-regular, and now there's the whole thing with Untold Destiny, which Untold Destiny feels like it has some of AD&D's DNA, but without any of the stuff I hate when it comes to AD&D. You know, it's not doing Thaco, it's not doing the spells per day thing. Which, Sig, did you catch the video I did on that?
On the Untold Destiny stuff?
No, why I don't like the Vancian model for spellcasting.
Yeah, I did watch that actually.
Mm-hmm. What was your take on the points I raised?
I mean, it seemed fair. That's really all I can say on that.
Yeah, I've seen.
Okay, I see why.
I've seen some say that I was a bit petty on some of the reasons, or that I was contradictory, but I don't think I was. The problem that I ultimately had was the fact that I don't have enough of a reason why this exists in the game. That's the thing about having a game with a strong enough setting or a vibe. You can justify why things are a certain way in an in-universe manner. I mean, obviously there's the whole Gygax and Arneson were fans of Jack Vance. Okay, I get it, but that's out of universe. It's more important to have an in-universe reason. Like why does Spell Drain exist in Shadowrun? Because the books make it clear magic is tiring.
Not to mention, magic hasn't been around for like a certain period of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually back within the setting by the time you start, but It's only been around for less than a century by that point. Mostly culminating with the fact that a dragon ran for president and won.
Yeah, I remember reading that part of, I think it was my 4th edition book that I have.
Mm-hmm. And with that said, I think there's going to be a lot of bright opportunities going forward with this new model and with this relaunch of how things are going. But since I'd say we're at a good enough point where we're winding down. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be going offline for a little bit, possibly an hour. And then we're going to be back with the demo grab bag for tonight.
Nice.
Which is just going to be me going through a bunch of demos because Steam Next Fest happened this week and there was a lot of stuff that came out.
There is one demo I want to check out that I saw for a Twisted Tower that I might try at some point.
Yeah, there's a bunch of others. It's basically to the point where anyone telling me that nobody's making good games in this day and age is full of shit.
As we've proven time and time again.
Mm-hmm. And I know some may ask, why do you keep hammering that point home? As long as people are gonna be trendy ass cynics, I'm going to keep hammering it home until the message gets sunk in. And I've got nothing but time. But
plenty of time.
But we're going to wrap it up there. Don't expect to see the model when I do the game streams because I only use the model for certain shows, and if I'm covering games that are highly graphical intensive, using the model is not a good idea.
Definitely.
But as mentioned, that will more or less cover things for tonight. So I will see you all here in about an hour after I've had some time to get some dinner and get things set up. And we'll be going through a bunch of demos. I don't know how many, but we're gonna go through as many as I can before I have to conk out. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.